Beneath the surface of our world, something stirs silently, invisibly, unanswered. There are places so strange, so baffling, that they defy the laws of nature and mock our understanding. Where compasses spin wildly, where shadows move without reason, where whispers from the past seem to echo through stone and ice, from the depths of the Bermuda Triangle to the frozen enigma of Antarctica's bloodfalls, these are not just places on a map. They are wounds. In reality itself, scientists dig, measure, and theorize, but the mysteries only deepen. Ancient structures rise where no civilization should exist. One thing is certain: Earth holds secrets it is not willing to share. And as we dig deeper, we may discover that we were never meant to know. The Great Pyramid of Giza continues to amaze modern engineers with its remarkable precision and scale, built over 4,500 years ago. One of the most puzzling aspects is the incredible precision of its construction. The base of the pyramid is level to within a few centimeters across its 430 m width. This feat would be a challenge even for modern builders with advanced technology. The size of the stone blocks used in its construction is another enigma. Some of these limestone blocks weigh up to 80 tons, but they were quarried, transported, and placed with astonishing precision. The method used to move these enormous stones remains a subject of debate among experts. The internal structure of the pyramid is equally puzzling. The Grand Gallery, a long, narrow passageway leading to the king's chamber, features an intricate corbel ceiling. The engineering behind this design, which has kept the passageway intact for millennia, demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of weight distribution and structural integrity. Perhaps most puzzling is how the ancient Egyptians achieved such precision without the surveying and construction tools available to us today. The pyramid's perfect alignment with the cardinal points and its almost perfect equilateral triangle shape, when viewed from above, demonstrate a level of mathematical and astronomical knowledge that seems far ahead of its time. These enduring mysteries continue to challenge our understanding of the capabilities of ancient engineering. The ancient Inca city of Machu Picchu, nestled high in the Peruvian Andes, continues to amaze archaeologists and visitors alike with its extraordinary precision in stonework. The huge granite blocks that form the structures of this 15th century marvel fit together with such precision that not even a knife blade can be inserted between them. This level of precision, achieved without the use of mortar, has allowed the city to withstand centuries of earthquakes and harsh weather conditions. What really puzzles experts is the method used to achieve such perfection. The Incas had no iron tools or wheels, yet they managed to cut, transport, and fit these enormous stones with astonishing precision. Some blocks weigh more than 50 tons and have dozens of angles, all perfectly aligned with the adjacent stones. Theories about their techniques range from the use of bronze chisels and hammers to the possibility of softening the rock with acidic plant extracts. Adding to the mystery is the fact that many of the stones appear to have been quarried from sites miles away and transported up steep mountain slopes. How the Incas achieved this feat without advanced technology remains the subject of intense debate and research. Some researchers propose the use of log rollers and ramps, while others suggest more exotic methods involving levers and counterweights. The durable nature of these stone structures also raises questions about the Incas' advanced knowledge of seismic activity. The walls of Machu Picchu are slightly sloped inward, and the corners are often rounded, features that may have been intentionally designed to withstand earthquakes. This sophisticated engineering, combined with the mind-boggling precision of the stonework, continues to challenge our understanding of ancient technological capabilities and keeps Machu Picchu at the forefront of archaeological research. The colossal stone statues on Easter Island, known as Moai, continue to captivate researchers and spark ongoing debate for several compelling reasons. These enigmatic figures, carved by the Rapanui people centuries ago, present a complex puzzle that touches on various aspects of human history and culture. One of the main sources of debate is the purpose behind the creation of These enormous statues. Some researchers argue that the moai were representations of revered ancestors or powerful chiefs that served to honor and preserve their memory. Others propose that they were created as symbols of political or religious power, used to assert dominance over rival clans or to appease the gods. The methods used to transport and erect these enormous stone figures, weighing up to 80 tons, remain the subject of intense speculation. Several theories have been proposed, ranging from the use of log rollers and ropes to the possibility that the statues were walked into place using a rocking motion. The logistics of this feat, accomplished with limited resources on a remote island, continue to amaze and perplex experts. Perhaps the most controversial debate surrounding the moai of Easter Island relates to the island's ecological history. Some researchers argue that the intensive exploitation of resources required to build and transport the statues led to widespread deforestation and, ultimately, the collapse of society. Others refute this view, suggesting that European contact and introduced diseases played a more significant role in the island's decline. This ongoing debate highlights the complex interplay between human activity, environmental change, and cultural practices, making the moai of Easter Island a fascinating subject for interdisciplinary research and debate. Stonehenge, the ancient monument in England, has long fascinated researchers with its precise astronomical alignment. A widely held theory suggests that Stonehenge served as a celestial observatory, allowing ancient people to track the movements of the sun, moon, and stars. This alignment may have been crucial for determining the change of seasons, which was vital for agricultural societies. Another theory proposes that Stonehenge functioned as a sacred calendar, marking important dates such as solstices and equinoxes. The summer solstice in particular aligns perfectly with the monument's central axis, leading some to believe that it was a site for religious ceremonies or spiritual gatherings linked to these celestial events. Some researchers argue that the alignment of Stonehenge had a more practical purpose, serving as a tool for predicting eclipses. The intricate arrangement of the stones may have allowed ancient astronomers to calculate the complex cycles of the sun and moon, giving them the ability to anticipate these rare and often culturally significant events. A more recent theory suggests that the alignment of Stonehenge was designed to create acoustic effects during ceremonies. The position of the stones in relation to the celestial bodies may have enhanced the resonance of sound during certain astronomical events, creating an immersive and powerful experience for those participating in rituals or gatherings at the site. The ancient city of Teotihuacan in Mexico has long fascinated archaeologists and mathematicians with its precise and complex layout. Scientists have discovered that the city's design incorporates advanced mathematical concepts, including the use of specific proportions and alignments that suggest a deep understanding of geometry and astronomy. One of the most striking features is the alignment of the city with the solar system. The main avenue, known as the Avenue of the Dead, is oriented exactly 11.5 degrees east of true north. This alignment corresponds to the setting point of the Pleiades star cluster, which played an important role in Mesoamerican timekeeping and agricultural cycles. In addition, researchers have discovered that the distances between the main structures in Teotihuacan follow a specific pattern based on the square root of 2. This irrational number, approximately equal to 1414, appears repeatedly in the layout of the city, suggesting that its builders had knowledge of complex mathematical concepts typically associated with much later civilizations. The placement of the three main pyramids, the sun, moon, and feathered serpent, also demonstrates an advanced understanding of proportions and relationships. The front wall of the feathered serpent pyramid, for example, is exactly half as long as the front wall of the sun pyramid. Such precise relationships between structures throughout the city indicate a level of planning and mathematical sophistication that continues to impress modern scientists. The Yonaguni Monument, located off the coast of the Japanese island of Yonaguni, has sparked intense debate among scientists and historians since its discovery in 1987. This underwater structure, located at a depth of up to 25 m, features a series of terraces, steps, and geometric shapes that, according to some, are evidence of an ancient human structure. Those who believe the monument is man-made argue that its sharp angles, flat surfaces, and apparent symmetry are too precise to be natural formations. They suggest that it could be the remains of a lost civilization, possibly from the last ice age, when sea levels were much lower. Supporters of this theory point to what they interpret as pillars, causeways, and even a pyramid-like structure within the site. However, many geologists and marine scientists maintain that the Yonaguni Monument is a natural formation. They argue that the sandstone layers in the area, combined with tectonic activity and erosion, could easily create the shapes and patterns observed. These experts point to similar formations elsewhere in the world that are known to be natural and emphasize that the monument lacks clear evidence of tool marks or bonded masonry typical of human construction. The controversy is fueled by the site's potential implications for human history. If proven to be man-made, it would drastically alter our understanding of prehistoric Japanese civilization and could rewrite the chronology of human technological development. This high-profile debate, combined with the challenges posed by the study of an underwater site, ensures that the Yonaguni Monument will remain the subject of scientific research and public fascination. The Nazca Lines in Peru remain a captivating enigma for archaeologists and researchers around the world. These enormous geoglyphs carved into the desert floor have endured for over 2,000 years, but their exact purpose and the methods used to create them continue to elude complete understanding. One of the main reasons these ancient works of art baffle experts is their enormous scale. Some of the figures stretch hundreds of meters across the landscape, forming intricate designs that are only fully visible from high above. This raises questions about how the Nazca people, who lived between 500 BCE and 500 CE, could have planned and executed such massive projects without the benefit of aerial views. The precision of the lines also baffles researchers. Despite their enormous size, many of the figures maintain extraordinarily accurate proportions and smooth curves. This level of precision suggests a sophisticated knowledge of geometry and surveying techniques that seems advanced for the time. Experts continue to debate the tools and methods that could have been used to achieve such precision over such large distances. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the Nazca Lines is their purpose. Theories range from astronomical calendars and religious rituals to alien landing strips. Although most scholars agree that the lines probably had spiritual or ceremonial significance, the exact nature of these practices remains unclear. The diversity of designs, which include animals, plants, and geometric shapes, adds complexity to the interpretation of their meaning. As new technologies emerge and our understanding of ancient cultures evolves, the Nazca Lines continue to inspire research and spark the imagination, reminding us of the ingenuity and mystery of our ancestors. Civilisations, located in present-day Turkey, is an extraordinary archaeological site that has redefined our understanding of early human civilization. Dating back approximately 12,000 years, this ancient complex predates the invention of pottery, metallurgy, writing, and even agriculture as we know it. The intricate carvings found at Göbekli Tepe are of immense importance due to their sophistication and age. These elaborate stone pillars, adorned with detailed animal figures and abstract symbols, display a level of artistic and engineering skill that was previously thought impossible for hunter-gatherer societies. This calls into question long-held assumptions about the capabilities of our ancestors and suggests a more complex social structure than previously imagined. The carvings also provide valuable insight into the cultural beliefs and practices of these primitive peoples. The predominance of animal motifs, such as foxes, bulls, snakes, and birds points to a rich symbolic world and possibly a complex mythology. Some researchers propose that Göbekli Tepe may have served as a ritual center, bringing together diverse groups from a wide area, which could have facilitated the exchange of ideas and potentially catalyzed the Neolithic Revolution. Furthermore, the size of the site and the labor required for its construction imply a level of social organization and cooperation previously unthinkable for this period. This suggests that complex societies may have emerged before the advent of agriculture and not as a result of it, which could reverse our understanding of the sequence of human cultural evolution. The pillar, also known as the Iron Pillar, has long puzzled researchers because of its remarkable resistance to corrosion. This ancient Indian monument, about 7 m high and weighing more than 6,000 kilograms, has stood the test of time for more than 15 years. The advanced metallurgy of the pillar is attributed to the high phosphorus content of the wrought iron used in its construction. Researchers have found that the iron contains approximately 1% phosphorus, a significantly higher percentage than typical iron artifacts from the same period. This high phosphorus content, combined with the presence of other elements such as copper and nickel, creates a protective layer on the surface of the pillar. This protective layer, known as mesite, is a compound of iron, oxygen, and hydrogen that forms when iron is exposed to the atmosphere. The mesite layer is self-repairing and continues to protect the pillar from corrosion. The presence of phosphorus also contributes to the formation of a passive protective film of iron-hydrogen phosphate, which further improves the pillar's resistance to corrosion. The craftsmanship of ancient Indian metalworkers is evident in the construction of the pillar. They probably used a process called forge welding, in which separate pieces of iron were heated and hammered together to form a single, solid piece. This technique, combined with the unique composition of the iron, resulted in a structure that has remained standing for centuries, defying the usual expectations of iron corrosion. The walls of the Sacsayhuaman fortress in Peru are a testament to the incredible engineering prowess of the Inca civilization. These enormous stone structures built more than 5 centuries ago continue to baffle modern experts with their precision and scale. The walls are composed of huge stone blocks, some weighing up to 350 tons, yet they fit together with such precision that not even a thin sheet can be inserted between them. This level of precision is astonishing, considering the primitive tools available to the Incas at the time. The stones are cut and fitted into complex and irregular shapes, creating a three-dimensional puzzle of immense proportions. The scale of the fortress is equally impressive. The walls stretch for hundreds of meters and reach 6 m in height in some sections. The largest stones used in the construction are comparable in size to small houses, yet they were somehow transported from quarries several kilometers away and up steep slopes. What makes Sacsayhuaman truly extraordinary is that these monumental walls have withstood the test of time, including numerous earthquakes. The ingenious construction technique, which allows the stones to shift slightly and settle into place, has ensured that the walls have remained standing for centuries, demonstrating the advanced seismic engineering knowledge possessed by the Inca builders. The fast stones of Death Valley, also known as moving rocks, have puzzled scientists for decades. These rocks, some of which weigh hundreds of kilograms, leave long tracks as they roll across the dry bed of Ristrak Playa. The mystery of their movement has finally been solved through careful observation and scientific study. The key to this phenomenon lies in a perfect combination of environmental conditions. During the winter, when temperatures drop, rain or melted snow can form a thin layer of water on the beach. When nighttime temperatures plummet, this water freezes into a layer of ice, sometimes only a few millimeters thick. When morning comes and the ice begins to melt, large panels break off and float on a thin layer of water, driven by light winds. These ice panels push against the rocks, causing them to slide across the slippery mud surface. The rocks move slowly, sometimes only a few centimeters per second, but over time they can travel considerable distances, leaving unmistakable tracks in their wake. This process can repeat itself over several days or weeks, resulting in the long, winding tracks we observe. This explanation accounts for the various movement patterns observed in the rock trails, including sudden changes in direction. It also explains why the phenomenon occurs infrequently, as it requires a specific set of weather conditions that may not occur every year. The revelation of this mystery highlights the power of patient scientific observation to understand seemingly inexplicable natural phenomena. The Taos hum, a mysterious low-frequency sound heard by some residents of Taos, New Mexico, has puzzled scientists for decades. Researchers have proposed several theories to explain this phenomenon, but no explanation has been definitively proven. One hypothesis suggests that the hum could be caused by natural geological processes. Microseismic activity, the movement of groundwater, or the interaction between wind and local topography could generate low-frequency vibrations that some people perceive as a hum. Scientists have conducted seismic studies in the area to investigate this possibility, but the results have been inconclusive. Another explanation focuses on human sources. Some researchers believe that the hum could be produced by distant industrial equipment, power lines, or even secret military installations. However, efforts to locate a specific source have been unsuccessful, and the persistent nature of the hum at different times and under different weather conditions has made this theory difficult to confirm. A third approach considers the possibility that the Taos hum is related to individual perception rather than an external sound source. Some scientists propose that certain individuals may be hypersensitive to low-frequency sounds that are normally present in the environment but go unnoticed by most people. This theory is supported by the fact that only a small percentage of the population reports hearing the hum, but it does not explain the present in the environment but go unnoticed by most individuals. This theory is supported by the fact that only a small percentage of the population reports hearing the hum, but it does not fully explain the geographical concentration of reports in Taos. The Eternal Flame at the Eternal Flame Waterfall in Chestnut Ridge Park in New York has intrigued scientists and visitors for many years. This small flame flickering behind a waterfall is fueled by natural gas seeping from the rocks. Several theories attempt to explain its origin and persistence. A widely held theory suggests that the gas fueling the flame comes from ancient, deeply buried organic matter. Over millions of years, heat and pressure transformed this material into natural gas, which now seeps through cracks in the shale rock formation. This process, known as thermogenic gas production, is common in many natural gas deposits around the world. Another hypothesis suggests that the gas could be produced by ongoing microbial activity in the rock layers. Certain types of bacteria can break down organic matter in low-oxygen environments, producing methane as a byproduct. This biogenic gas production could sustain the flame for long periods. Some researchers speculate that the unique geology of the area plays a crucial role in channeling and concentrating the gas in this particular location. The shale formations in layers and the network of fractures in the rock could create a system of natural pipes that direct the gas to the surface where it can ignite. Understanding these geological factors could help explain why this particular location is home to such a rare and persistent natural phenomenon. The Gestalen light phenomenon in Norway has been baffling scientists for decades and remains one of the most intriguing and persistent unexplained atmospheric phenomena. This mysterious phenomenon manifests itself in the form of bright, floating orbs of light that appear in the Gestalen Valley, often floating and moving in unusual patterns. Despite numerous scientific investigations and expeditions, experts have yet to find a conclusive explanation for the Gestalen lights. Several theories have been proposed, ranging from ionized dust particles to piezoelectric effects caused by geological stress, but none has fully explained all the observed characteristics of the phenomenon. One of the main challenges in studying the Gestalen lights is their unpredictable nature. The lights appear sporadically, making it difficult for researchers to collect consistent data. In addition, the remote location and harsh weather conditions of the valley further complicate scientific investigations. Some scientists speculate that the lights could be related to unique geological features of the area, such as the presence of rare earth elements or underground water currents. Others propose atmospheric explanations, such as plasma formations or ball lightning. However, the lack of conclusive evidence and the seemingly intelligent behavior of the lights continue to fuel both scientific curiosity and public fascination with this enduring mystery. The fireballs, known as Naga of the Mekong River, have long puzzled scientists and captivated locals and tourists alike. These mysterious glowing orbs that seem to rise from the waters of the Mekong River in Thailand and Laos defy explanation and continue to challenge our understanding of natural phenomena. One of the most puzzling aspects of the Naga fireballs is their regularity and predictability. Unlike many unexplained phenomena, these fireballs tend to appear at specific times of the year, especially during the full moon night in October. This regularity has led some researchers to suspect a natural cause, although the precise mechanism remains difficult to determine. The behavior of the fireballs also confuses scientists. Witnesses describe seeing reddish balls of light the size of an egg or a basketball rising silently from the river. These orbs ascend to heights of up to 200 m before disappearing. The absence of sound, smoke, or any visible launch mechanism further complicates attempts to explain their origin. Despite extensive research, including spectral analysis and attempts to recreate the phenomenon, researchers have yet to reach a consensus on the cause of the Naga fireballs. Proposed explanations range from the release of flammable gases from the riverbed to elaborate hoaxes, but none fully account for all the observed characteristics. This mystery continues to draw scientists and curious onlookers to the Mekong River, eager to witness and unravel the secret of these enigmatic lights. The perfectly spherical stones of Costa Rica, known as the Costa Rican stone spheres or the balls, have puzzled experts for decades. These enigmatic artifacts found in the Diquis Delta region vary in size from a few centimeters to over 2 m in diameter and weigh up to 16 tons. Archaeologists and geologists have proposed several theories to explain their creation and purpose. A prevailing theory suggests that the ancient indigenous people of Costa Rica crafted these spheres using a technique of repeated hammering and grinding. Experts believe that the artisans started with naturally rounded rocks and gradually shaped them into nearly perfect spheres using smaller stones as hammers and abrasives. This process would have required immense skill, patience, and time, possibly over generations. Some researchers have explored the possibility that the spheres were created through a combination of natural processes and human intervention. They propose that river erosion may have shaped the stones initially, and that humans refined them to achieve their extraordinary spherical shape. However, the level of precision observed in many of the spheres suggests significant human involvement in their creation. The purpose of these stone spheres remains a subject of debate among experts. Some theories suggest that they were used for astronomical observations or as symbols of status and power. Others propose that they served as territorial markers or played a role in religious ceremonies. Despite extensive research, scientists remain unaware of the true intent behind their creation, adding to the charm and mystery of these extraordinary artifacts. The peculiar behavior of animals prior to the formation of the Twisted Forest in Poland remains a subject of scientific intrigue and speculation. Although there is no definitive explanation, researchers have proposed several theories to explain these unusual animal actions. One hypothesis suggests that changes in the Earth's magnetic field may have influenced animal behavior. Many species rely on magnetic signals for navigation and orientation. Fluctuations in these fields could have disrupted their normal patterns, causing them to act in ways that seemed strange to human observers. Another possibility is that there were disturbances in the local environment, such as changes in atmospheric pressure or subtle seismic activity. Animals are often more sensitive to these changes than humans, and their behavior could have been a response to environmental signals that went unnoticed by people at the time. Some scientists have also considered the role of chemical or electromagnetic signals emitted by the trees themselves. When the pines in the crooked forest began to grow unusually. They may have emitted substances or energy that affected nearby wildlife, triggering atypical behavior. Although these theories remain speculative, they highlight the complex interactions between flora, fauna, and the environment that continue to fascinate scientists studying this unique forest. The ice circles of Lake Baikal continue to baffle scientists because of their unique characteristics and the difficult conditions in which they form. These huge, perfectly round circles of thin ice appear on the frozen surface of Lake Baikal in Siberia, sometimes reaching several kilometers in diameter. One of the main reasons why these ice circles remain a mystery is the difficulty of studying them directly. Lake Baikal is remote and experiences extremely cold temperatures, making in situ research difficult. In addition, the circles tend to form and disappear quickly, sometimes within a matter of days, limiting the time available for thorough investigation. Scientists have proposed several theories to explain the formation of these ice circles, but none has been conclusively proven. Some researchers suggest that warm water currents rising from the bottom of the lake cause the circular patterns, while others believe that methane bubbles released from the lake bed play a role. The interaction between water temperature, currents, and ice formation in such a large and deep lake creates a complex system that is not yet fully understood. The mystery of Baikal's ice circles highlights the gaps in our knowledge of ice formation processes in large bodies of fresh water. As climate change affects global weather patterns and ice formation, understanding these phenomena is increasingly important for predicting and managing environmental changes. In polar and subpolar regions, midnights, a mysterious phenomenon observed in the remote Australian outback, have intrigued scientists and locals for generations. These eerie floating orbs of light have been the subject of numerous explanations, ranging from scientific theories to folklore. One prominent scientific explanation suggests that midnights are a type of mirage caused by atmospheric refraction. According to this theory, light from distant sources, such as car headlights or bonfires, becomes trapped in layers of cold air near the ground. As it passes through these layers, the light bends and appears to float or move erratically, creating the illusion of mysterious lights. Another hypothesis attributes the phenomenon to bioluminescence. Some researchers speculate that the lights may be caused by luminous fungus insects. Although this explanation does not account for the size and behavior of the lights, others have suggested that the lights could be the result of natural gas emissions that ignite spontaneously, but this theory lacks substantial evidence. Skeptics argue that many sightings of the Min lights can be explained by misidentification of ordinary light sources or even hallucinations caused by fatigue or dehydration in the harsh outback environment. However, the persistence of the sightings and the consistency of reports from different observers suggest that there may be more to the phenomenon than mere perception. Researchers have proposed several theories to explain the unusual number of disappearances in the Alaska Triangle. One prominent idea focuses on the unique geological characteristics of the region. The area contains large deposits of magnetite, a highly magnetic iron ore. Some scientists speculate that these deposits may interfere with navigation equipment, causing planes and ships to veer off course. Another explanation is the harshness and unpredictability of the Alaskan environment. The region's vast natural expanses, extreme weather conditions, and rugged terrain can disorient even experienced outdoor enthusiasts. Sudden storms, avalanches, and hidden crevasses pose a great danger to travelers, which could explain some of the unexplained disappearances. Some researchers explore less conventional theories, such as the possibility of gravitational anomalies or temporal distortions of space-time. Although these ideas lack substantial scientific evidence, they reflect the enduring mystery surrounding the Alaska Triangle phenomenon. Ultimately, it is likely that a combination of treacherous natural conditions, possible electromagnetic interference, and a remoteness of the area contribute to the above-average rate of disappearances. However, the Alaska Triangle continues to intrigue scientists and mystery enthusiasts alike, leading to ongoing investigations into this baffling region. The Bimini Road, an underwater rock formation near North Bimini Island in the Bahamas, has sparked intense debate and controversy among researchers and enthusiasts for decades. This enigmatic structure, composed of limestone blocks arranged in what appears to be a linear pattern, has led some to claim that it is evidence of an ancient civilization, possibly even the lost city of Atlantis. The controversy stems from conflicting interpretations of the formation's origin. Some researchers argue that the Bimini Road is a natural phenomenon formed by the fracturing and erosion of beach rock. They point to similar formations found elsewhere in the world as evidence that such structures can arise without human intervention. However, others argue that the uniformity and apparent deliberate arrangement of the blocks suggest artificial construction. Proponents of this view argue that the straight lines and right angles of the formation are too precise to be the result of natural processes. They also cite the presence of what appear to be tool marks on some of the stones as evidence of human involvement. The site's connection to the myth of Atlantis adds fuel to the debate. In 1968, a clairvoyant named Edgar Cayce predicted that evidence of Atlantis would be found near Bimini. The discovery of the Bimini Road shortly after this prediction led many to believe that it was the fulfillment of Cayce's prophecy. This association with Atlantis has intensified interest in the site and raised skepticism among leading archaeologists who remain unconvinced of the existence of an advanced civilization lost in the area. The blub, a powerful ultra-low frequency sound detected in the Pacific Ocean in 1997, baffled scientists for years. At first, its volume and frequency characteristics suggested that it could have been produced by a living being, sparking speculation about huge, unknown marine animals. This idea captured the public's imagination, but the truth turned out to be rooted in the geology of our planet rather than its biology. After extensive research, scientists at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration determined that the blop was the sound of a large ice quake. These occur when huge ice shelves break off into the ocean. The sound likely originated from an ice quake in Antarctica, where a huge chunk of ice broke off and fell into the sea. The mystery of the blop highlights the challenges of underwater acoustics. Sound travels much farther and faster in water than in air, making it difficult to pinpoint the exact source of ocean noises. In addition, the unique properties of water can distort sounds, further complicating their identification and location. Although the blop may not have been proof of an undiscovered sea monster, its study has contributed to our understanding of ocean acoustics and the dynamic processes that shape our planet's polar regions. It reminds us that our oceans still hold many secrets waiting to be uncovered by curious scientists and advanced technology. The Baltic Sea anomaly has sparked numerous theories since its discovery in 2011 by Swedish treasure hunters. This unusual formation on the ocean floor has intrigued scientists and fueled speculation among UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists alike. One prominent theory suggests that the anomaly is a natural geological formation. Geologists propose that it could be a glacial deposit formed by the movement of ice during the last ice age. This explanation accounts for its unusual shape and composition, which includes rocks and various minerals common to the region. Another theory posits that the Baltic Sea anomaly could be the remains of a sunken ship or other man-made structure. Some researchers have drawn comparisons to the foundations of ancient buildings or even speculated about lost civilizations. However, the depth and age of the formation make this hypothesis difficult to verify. More sensational theories have emerged from UFO researchers who claim that the anomaly could be an extraterrestrial spacecraft or an underwater base. These ideas are derived from the object's seemingly geometric shape and the alleged electrical interference reported by the initial expedition team. Although these theories capture the imagination, they lack substantial scientific evidence to support them. The Bermuda Triangle, a region located in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, has long captivated the imagination of both the public and scientists. This area, roughly bounded by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has been the subject of numerous theories and investigations due to the alleged disappearance of ships and aircraft under mysterious circumstances. One reason for this fascination is the large number of incidents reported in the area. Over the years, dozens of ships and planes have supposedly disappeared without a trace, leading to speculation about supernatural or extraterrestrial causes. However, it is important to note that many of these disappearances have been exaggerated or misreported, contributing to the myth surrounding the area. From a scientific perspective, researchers are intrigued by the unique geological and meteorological conditions of the Bermuda Triangle. The region is known for its deep ocean trenches, volatile weather patterns, and strong Gulf Stream currents. Some scientists theorize that these factors could contribute to navigational errors or equipment malfunctions, which could explain some of the reported incidents. Despite extensive investigations, no definitive explanation has been found for all of the reported disappearances, which continues to fuel interest and debate. This lack of a conclusive answer, combined with the human tendency to seek explanations for the inexplicable, ensures that the Bermuda Triangle remains a subject of fascination for both the general public and the scientific community. The underwater city of Dwarka, located off the coast of Gujarat, India, is shrouded in mystery and intrigue. This submerged metropolis has captivated archaeologists and historians for decades, as it blurs the line between ancient myth and historical reality. Dwarka holds a special place in Hindu tradition as the legendary capital of Lord Krishna. According to ancient texts, it was a magnificent city with large palaces and elaborate structures. What makes this place truly enigmatic is the discovery of extensive ruins under the Arabian Sea that seem to corroborate these ancient stories. Marine archaeological expeditions have unearthed a vast network of structures, including the remains of a huge wall, pottery, fragments of sculptures, and even a grid of streets. These findings suggest the existence of a sophisticated urban center that flourished thousands of years ago. The enormous scale and complexity of the underwater ruins challenge our understanding of ancient Indian civilization and its maritime capabilities. Perhaps the most puzzling aspect of Dwarka is its age. Some researchers propose that the city could be more than 9,000 years old, potentially predating other known ancient civilizations. If proven true, this extraordinary claim would revolutionize our understanding of human history and technological advancement. The underwater city of Dwarka remains a source of fascination that invites us to reconsider the boundaries between myth, legend, and archaeological evidence. The Dragon's Triangle, also known as the Sea of the Dragon, has long intrigued scientists and explorers. This region, located off the coast of Japan, is known for its magnetic anomalies and unexplained phenomena. Experts have proposed several theories to explain these magnetic irregularities. One prominent explanation focuses on the geological characteristics of the area. The Dragon's Triangle sits atop a complex network of tectonic plates: the Pacific Plate, the Philippine Sea Plate, and the Eurasian Plate. The interaction between these plates creates a highly active zone of underwater volcanoes and deep ocean trenches. Some scientists suggest that the movement of magma beneath the seabed could generate localized magnetic fields, contributing to the observed anomalies. Another theory points to the presence of large deposits of magnetite, a strongly magnetic iron mineral, on the seabed in the region. These deposits could alter compass readings and interfere with navigation equipment, leading to reports of magnetic anomalies. Some researchers also speculate that underwater deposits of methane hydrate, which can suddenly release large amounts of gas, may contribute to the unusual phenomena recorded in the area. It is important to note that while these explanations offer possible insights, the exact nature and extent of the magnetic anomalies in the Dragon's Triangle remain the subject of scientific research. As technology advances and more data becomes available, Researchers continue to refine their understanding of this intriguing maritime region and its peculiarities. The phenomenon of milky seas is a rare and captivating oceanic event that has puzzled sailors for centuries. This mysterious phenomenon causes large areas of the ocean to emit a constant, uniform glow that can extend over thousands of square kilometers. The light is so intense that it can be seen from space, appearing as vast, glowing patches on the dark ocean surface. The main cause of milky seas is bioluminescent bacteria. These microscopic organisms produce light through a chemical reaction inside their cells. Unlike the more common bioluminescent displays caused by dinoflagellates that create brief flashes of light when disturbed, the bacteria responsible for milky seas emit a continuous glow. Scientists believe that these bioluminescent bacteria thrive in symbiosis with certain species of algae. When conditions are right, these algae bloom in large numbers, creating a perfect environment for the light-producing bacteria to flourish. When a bacteria population explodes, their combined bioluminescence creates the striking milky glow that gives the phenomenon its name. Recent research has shed more light on this elusive event. Satellite observations have confirmed sailors' accounts and helped scientists better understand the scale and frequency of milky seas. Although still rare, these glowing patches of ocean remind us of the many wonders that remain to be explored in our oceans. The underwater crop circles off the coast of Japan continue to intrigue scientists and sea enthusiasts alike. These intricate patterns discovered in 2006 near the Ryukyu Islands were initially shrouded in mystery. Their perfect geometric designs, measuring up to 2 m in diameter, sparked numerous theories about their origin. For years, the debate focused on whether these formations were the result of natural phenomena, human intervention, or even extraterrestrial activity. Some experts suggested that ocean currents or underwater volcanic activity could be responsible for creating these symmetrical patterns in the sand. Others proposed that they could be the work of divers or underwater artists. The mystery was partially solved when researchers observed that a species of pufferfish, specifically the male white-spotted pufferfish, meticulously crafted these circles. These small fish, only 5 inches long, use their fins to create elaborate designs on the seabed. It was discovered that these circles are part of their mating ritual and that males build them to attract females. However, scientists continue to debate various aspects of this phenomenon. Questions remain about how such a small fish can create such large and precise drawings and why this behavior is observed in this particular species. In addition, researchers are continuing to study the exact mechanisms the fish use to create these intricate designs and how they navigate while constructing them. The fascination with these underwater circles highlights the ongoing process of discovery and learning in marine biology and animal behavior studies. The legend of Atlantis has captivated the imagination for centuries, giving rise to numerous theories about its possible existence and location. One theory suggests that Atlantis was a highly advanced civilization located on a large island in the Atlantic Ocean. According to this theory, the island nation was destroyed by a natural disaster, possibly a large earthquake or tsunami that caused it to sink beneath the waves. Some researchers have proposed that Atlantis may have been located in the Mediterranean Sea. The island of Santorini, also known as Thera, is often cited as a possible candidate. This theory is based on the island's history of volcanic activity and the destruction of the Minoan civilization on nearby Crete. Other hypotheses place Atlantis in various locations around the world, such as off the coast of Spain, in the Caribbean, or even in Antarctica. These theories are often based on local legends, geological accidents, or underwater formations that resemble artificial structures. Although many of these theories are intriguing, it is important to note that there is no concrete evidence to support the existence of Atlantis as described in ancient texts. Many scholars consider the story to be a work of fiction, possibly created by the Greek philosopher Plato as an allegory of the arrogance of nations. Beneath the surface of the ocean lies a world of mysteries including the surprising existence of freshwater lakes. These underwater lakes form when seawater seeps through thick layers of salt beneath the seabed. As the water dissolves the salt, it becomes increasingly dense and sinks, accumulating in depressions on the ocean floor. The high concentration of salt in these underwater lakes makes them much denser than the surrounding seawater, creating a clear boundary between the two bodies of water. This difference in density prevents the lake water from mixing with the ocean, allowing it to maintain its unique properties. The water in these submerged lakes can be up to 5 times saltier than seawater, creating an inhospitable environment for most marine life. Researchers have discovered diverse ecosystems thriving at the edges of these underwater lakes, where the salt concentration is less extreme. Specialized microorganisms called extremophiles have adapted to living in these harsh conditions, providing scientists with valuable data about the potential for life in extreme environments on Earth and possibly other planets. These underwater lakes provide a window into Earth's geological past and offer clues about the formation of valuable mineral deposits. By studying these unique formations, scientists continue to unravel the complexities of our planet's underwater landscapes and the life forms that inhabit them. Mexico's Crystal Cave is a testament to the extraordinary wonders that lie beneath the surface of our planet. Located deep within the Nac mine in Chihuahua, this underground marvel is home to some of the largest natural crystals ever discovered on Earth. These enormous selenite crystals, some of which measure over 10 m, and weighing up to 55 tons, dwarf the human explorers who venture into the cave. What really sets this cave apart is the extreme environment in which these crystals have formed and continue to exist. The cave maintains a constant temperature of 36 degrees Celsius, with humidity levels close to 100%. These conditions make human exploration almost impossible without specialized equipment and limited time frames. Scientists must wear cooling suits and respirators to withstand the oppressive heat and humidity, and often limit their expeditions to only 30 minutes at a time. The unique combination of mineral-rich water, stable high temperatures, and unaltered conditions for hundreds of thousands of years has allowed these gypsum crystals to grow to their enormous size. This offers scientists a rare opportunity to study the crystal formation processes that occur over geological timescales. However, the same conditions that created this wonder also pose significant challenges for research and conservation. The Crystal Cave also raises important questions about the limits of life in extreme environments. Researchers have discovered microbial life trapped in the crystals, potentially preserved for tens of thousands of years. This finding not only expands our understanding of life on Earth, but also has implications for the search for life on other planets with similarly harsh conditions. The cave continues to captivate scientists and expand our knowledge of the hidden worlds beneath our feet. The perfect spheres discovered in Costa Rica's Ball Cave have been puzzling scientists and archaeologists for decades. These mysterious stone balls, known as the balls, range in size from a few centimeters to over 2 m in diameter. Experts have proposed several theories to explain their existence and near-perfect shape. One prevailing explanation suggests that these spheres were created by the ancient indigenous people of Costa Rica, particularly the Diquas culture, which flourished in the region between 500 and 100 years ago. Archaeologists believe that skilled craftsmen used a technique of hammering and grinding, repeated to shape these balls from natural granite boulders. This process, although slow, allowed for an extraordinarily smooth and spherical finish. Some researchers propose that the balls may have had astronomical or navigational significance, possibly serving as markers of celestial events or as tools for mapping the land. Others suggest that they had religious or social significance, perhaps indicating the status or power of tribal leaders. However, the true purpose and meaning of these spheres remain a subject of debate and study. The exceptional preservation and near-perfect shape of these stone balls continue to amaze experts. Although natural processes can create spherical shapes, over time, The precision and scale of the Costa Rican spheres clearly indicate human intervention. Their creation represents a remarkable feat of ancient engineering and craftsmanship that highlights the advanced skills and knowledge of the pre-Columbian cultures of Central America. The Longzhou Caves in China's Xi'an province have puzzled archaeologists and historians since their discovery in 1994. These vast underground chambers carved by hand from solid limestone present a fascinating enigma. Several theories attempt to explain their purpose, although none has been conclusively proven. A widely held theory suggests that the caves were an ancient quarry created to extract building materials for large-scale construction projects. The precision of the carving and the immense scale of the excavation support this idea. However, the lack of historical records mentioning such a large-scale undertaking has led some experts to question this explanation. Another intriguing hypothesis suggests that the caves served as underground shelters, possibly created during a time of conflict or environmental crisis. The constant temperature and humidity inside the caves could have made them ideal for long-term habitation. However, the absence of typical housing artifacts or modifications for comfortable living casts doubt on this theory. Some researchers speculate that the Longzhou Caves may have had a ceremonial or religious purpose. The intricate drawings carved into the walls and ceilings could represent ancient symbols or star maps, suggesting that the caves were used for spiritual practices or astronomical observations. However, without written records or a clear cultural context, these interpretations remain speculative, and the true purpose of these extraordinary caves remains shrouded in mystery. The ancient underground cities of Cappadocia continue to captivate our imagination with their extraordinary engineering and historical significance. These underground wonders carved into the soft volcanic rock of central Turkey date back thousands of years and serve as a refuge for early Christians fleeing persecution. What makes these cities truly amazing is their enormous scale and complexity. Some extend up to 11 levels below the surface with intricate networks of tunnels, dwellings, storage rooms, and ventilation shafts. The largest could house thousands of people along with their livestock and provisions for extended periods. The ingenuity of their design is evident in the sophisticated security systems. Huge circular stone doors could be put in place to seal off sections of the city, while cleverly concealed traps protected against intruders. Fresh air circulation and water supply systems ensured that inhabitants could survive underground for months if necessary. Perhaps most intriguing is the mystery that still surrounds these cities. Many questions remain unanswered about their exact origins, the extent of their networks, and the daily lives of those who sought refuge in their depths. This enduring enigma, combined with the extraordinary feat of their construction, continues to attract researchers and tourists alike, making the underground cities of Cappadocia a source of wonder in our modern world. The House of Fini Hypogeum in Malta is a remarkable underground structure that exhibits extraordinary acoustic properties. This ancient underground complex, dating back to around 3600 BC, consists of a series of chambers carved out of solid limestone. What makes it acoustically unique is the way sound behaves within its walls. The main chamber, known as the Oracle Room, has particularly fascinating acoustic characteristics. When a person speaks or makes a sound in this room, the vibrations resonate throughout the complex, creating an otherworldly effect. The limestone walls seem to amplify and reflect the sound in such a way that they produce rich, deep tones and long reverberations. Researchers have discovered that certain frequencies, particularly those around 110 Hz, are significantly amplified within the Oracle Room. This frequency range coincides with the resonance frequency of a human brain, which could induce altered states of consciousness in listeners. Some scientists speculate that the ancient builders may have intentionally designed the chamber to create these effects for ritual or spiritual purposes. The acoustic properties of the hypogeum are enhanced by its unique architecture. Curved walls, vaulted ceilings, and strategically placed niches contribute to the complex acoustic behavior of the structure. This combination of natural materials and deliberate design creates an unparalleled acoustic environment, making the House of Fini hypogeum a true marvel of ancient engineering and the subject of ongoing scientific study. The giant crystal cave in Nyack, Mexico, features a geological wonder that has captivated scientists and the public alike. This extraordinary underground chamber, discovered in 2000, is home to some of the largest natural crystals ever found, some of which are up to 36 feet long and weigh up to 55 tons. Scientists explain the formation of these enormous crystals of selenite by a unique combination of geological conditions and time. The cave sits above a magma chamber that heated the groundwater to temperatures of around 130 degrees Fahrenheit, 58 degrees Celsius. This water was saturated with minerals, particularly calcium sulfate. The cooling of the magma chamber over hundreds of thousands of years allowed for incredibly slow crystal growth. The key to the enormous size of these crystals lies in the stability of the cave environment. For approximately 500,000 years, the temperature remained almost constant, hovering just below the point at which the mineral anhydrite transforms into gypsum. This delicate balance allowed the crystals to grow slowly and continuously without interruption. Researchers have also studied the tiny pockets of fluid trapped inside the crystals, providing insight into the ancient environment in which they formed. These studies have revealed that the crystals grew at an exceptionally slow rate of approximately 15 centimeters per 1,000 years, explaining their extraordinary size and purity. This slow growth process, combined with the stable conditions in the cave, resulted in the impressive crystal formations we see today. The Eiche-Reisenwelt Cave in Austria, known in English as the World of Ice Giants, is home to remarkable ice formations that captivate visitors and scientists alike. These unusual ice structures are the result of a unique combination of geological and meteorological factors. The cave's location high in the Austrian Alps plays a crucial role in the formation of its ice features. Cold winter air enters the cave through its entrance, which is located at a higher altitude than most of the cave system. This cold air, which is denser than warm air, sinks into the lower parts of the cave and becomes trapped. During the spring and summer, meltwater from snow and rain seeps into the cave through cracks in the limestone rock. When this water meets the trapped cold air, it freezes, gradually forming layers of ice over time. This process creates impressive ice formations such as stalactites, stalagmites, and ice curtains that can reach immense sizes. The natural chimney effect of the cave also contributes to the preservation of these ice formations. In winter, cold air continues to enter, maintaining freezing temperatures. In summer, the warmer outside air is too light to enter the cave, helping to keep the interior cool throughout the year. This delicate balance between airflow and temperature allows the ice formations to persist and grow for many years, resulting in the impressive frozen landscape that gives Eisenwelt its well-deserved name. The mobile cave in Romania is an extraordinary underground ecosystem that has remained isolated from the surface for about 5 million years. This prolonged separation has led to the evolution of unique forms of life found nowhere else on Earth. The cave environment is extreme, with no sunlight, very little oxygen, and high levels of carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. Despite these harsh conditions, the cave is teeming with life. More than 48 species have been discovered in the mobile cave, 33 of which are found nowhere else on the planet. These creatures have adapted to survive in total darkness and in an atmosphere that would be toxic to most organisms living. On the surface, the key to life in a mobile cave lies in chemosynthetic bacteria. These microorganisms form the basis of the food chain by using the chemical energy in the cave's sulfur-rich waters to produce organic matter. This process is similar to the photosynthesis that plants perform with sunlight, but in complete darkness. The bacteria create a slimy film on the cave walls and on the surface of the water, which is fed on by other inhabitants of the cave. Among its unique inhabitants are several species of insects, spiders, and crustaceans. Many of these creatures have lost their pigmentation and eyes, which are unnecessary in perpetual darkness. Instead, they have developed antennae and elongated limbs to navigate their lightless world. The mobile cave is a testament to life's incredible ability to adapt and thrive even in the most challenging environments. Derinku, Turkey's extraordinary underground city, has sparked numerous theories about its construction and purpose. Archaeologists and historians have proposed several intriguing ideas about this ancient wonder. One of the most prominent theories suggests that the Phrygians, an Indo-European people, began excavating Derinku around 800 BC. They may have created this underground refuge to protect themselves from invading armies or inclement weather. Another hypothesis attributes the construction to the Hittites, who may have built Derinku as early as 100 years before Christ. This theory is based on artifacts found in the underground city that resemble the style and Tita. Some researchers believe that early Christians expanded and modified the existing structures during the Byzantine era, using Derinku as a sanctuary from religious persecution. A more controversial theory suggests that advanced ancient or even extraterrestrial technology may have been involved in the construction of Derinku. Proponents of this idea point to the complexity of the ventilation systems and the precise engineering of the underground spaces. However, leading archaeologists reject these claims, explaining that the ancients possessed sophisticated knowledge and skills to create such structures without outside help. Regardless of its origins, experts agree that Derinku was continuously inhabited and expanded over the centuries. Its intricate network of tunnels, rooms, and ventilation shafts, regardless of its origins, experts agree that Derinku was continuously inhabited and expanded over the centuries. Its intricate network of tunnels, rooms, and ventilation shafts demonstrates the ingenuity and adaptability of ancient civilizations. The underground city remains a testament to human ingenuity and the enduring mystery of our past. The salt mines of Iran, particularly those at Cherabat, have yielded an extraordinary discovery. Exceptionally well-preserved human remains known as the salt men. These ancient bodies, dating back more than 2,000 years, owe their remarkable state of preservation to the unique environment of the salt mines. The key to this preservation lies in the properties of the salt itself. Salt is a powerful desiccant, which means it absorbs moisture from its surroundings. In the case of the salt men, this property effectively dehydrated the bodies, preventing the growth of bacteria and other microorganisms that usually cause decay. Salt also created an inhospitable environment for insects and other creatures that might otherwise have contributed to the decomposition process. In addition, the cold, constant temperature of the mines helped slow down chemical reactions that could have degraded the organic material. The darkness of the underground environment also played a role, as it protected the bodies from the damaging effects of sunlight and ultraviolet radiation. Researchers have also noted that the salt not only preserved the bodies, but also many of the objects found with them, such as textiles, tools, and even food remains. This remarkable preservation has provided archaeologists and historians with a wealth of information about life in ancient Persia, offering insights into the diet, clothing, and mining practices of the time. The salt mines of Iran are a testament to the extraordinary preservative power of salt and the enduring nature of human remains under the right conditions. The destruction of Mohenjo-Daro, one of the largest and most sophisticated cities of the ancient Indus Valley civilization, remains a captivating mystery. For archaeologists, this Bronze Age metropolis, located in present-day Pakistan, flourished some 4,500 years ago, but came to an abrupt and enigmatic end. What perplexes researchers is the absence of clear evidence pointing to a single, definitive cause for the city's demise. Unlike many ancient sites that show signs of war, natural disasters, or gradual abandonment, Mohenjo-daro presents a more complex puzzle. Excavations have not revealed widespread layers of destruction, mass graves, or apparent signs of large-scale conflict or invasion. Adding to the intrigue, some areas of the city show signs of careful and organized abandonment, with valuables removed and buildings sealed. This suggests a planned exodus rather than a sudden catastrophe. However, other sections of Mohenjo-daro show signs of rapid abandonment with everyday objects left behind, as if the inhabitants had fled in a hurry. The combination of these contradictory clues has given rise to numerous theories about what happened to this advanced urban center. Proposed explanations range from climate change and river course alteration to social unrest and economic collapse. However, none of these hypotheses fully accounts for all the archaeological evidence, so the true fate of Mohenjo-daro is shrouded in mystery and remains a challenge to our understanding of ancient urban decline. The Antikythera mechanism continues to amaze experts with its sophisticated design and capabilities. This ancient Greek device, often called the world's first analog computer, has given rise to numerous theories to explain its advanced features. Researchers have used cutting-edge imaging techniques, such as X-ray computed tomography, to look inside the corroded gears and decipher its intricate workings. A predominant explanation for the mechanism's complexity is that it represents the culmination of centuries of astronomical knowledge and mechanical expertise. Experts suggest that the device incorporates principles from earlier Babylonian astronomy, combined with the mathematical theories of Greek scholars, such as Hipparchus. This synthesis of knowledge allowed its creators to model celestial movements with remarkable accuracy. The presence of differential gears in the mechanism, a feature that was believed to have been invented much later, has led some experts to propose that the mechanical technology of ancient Greece was far more advanced than previously thought. They argue that the Antikythera mechanism may be just one example of a broader tradition of complex mechanical devices that have been lost to time. Some researchers speculate that the sophistication of the mechanism implies the existence of a precursor tradition that may date back centuries. They suggest that the device we have discovered could be the product of an established lineage of similar instruments, each building on the innovations of its predecessors. This theory helps explain the seemingly sudden appearance of such an advanced device in the historical record. The earthworks at New York and Ohio have long fascinated archaeologists and researchers studying ancient Native American cultures. These enormous, geometric earthworks built by the Hopewell culture approximately 2,000 years ago continue to inspire theories about their purpose and construction methods. A widely held theory suggests that the New York earthworks served as a vast astronomical observatory. The precise alignment of certain elements with lunar cycles and other celestial events indicates that the builders possessed sophisticated knowledge of astronomy. According to this theory, the Hopwells used the mounds to track the movements of the moon and predict eclipses, highlighting the spiritual and practical importance of celestial observations in their society. Another theory focuses on the earthworks as a ceremonial and gathering center. The large-scale and intricate design of the site suggests that it was a place of great importance, possibly used for religious rituals, social gatherings, and commercial meetings. Some researchers believe that the different geometric shapes of the complex could represent different clans or social groups, and that the overall design served as a physical manifestation of the Hopwell's cosmology and social structure. In terms of construction, archaeologists believe that the Hopwell built these enormous earthworks using simple tools such as digging sticks, baskets, and animal umbrellas as shovels. The precision of the geometric shapes implies a high level of planning and coordination. Some theories propose the use of standard units of measurement and possibly even surveying techniques to achieve such precision over large distances. The enormous scale of the earthworks, covering several square kilometers, highlights the immense labor and organization required for their construction, pointing to a complex and well-organized society capable of mobilizing significant resources for monumental projects. The ancient site of Pumapunku in Bolivia has long been a source of fascination and perplexity for archaeologists and researchers. This pre-Columbian archaeological site, part of the larger Tiwanaku complex, is notable for its extraordinarily precise and intricate stonework, which continues to challenge our understanding of the engineering capabilities of ancient times. The stones at Pumo, some of which weigh over 100 tons, are cut with such precision that they fit together perfectly, often without the need for mortar. The level of precision of these cuts is so high that it rivals modern machining techniques. This precision is particularly puzzling considering that the site dates back around 100 years, long before the arrival of modern tools and technology. The complexity of the stone's shapes adds to the mystery. Many blocks feature intricate, precise right angles, smooth surfaces, and complex interlocking patterns. Some stones feature perfect perforations and uniform grooves that appear to have been made with advanced machinery rather than primitive tools. These features have led some researchers to wonder how such work could have been accomplished with the tools and knowledge believed to have been available to the ancient builders. The transportation of these enormous stones also poses a puzzle. The nearest quarry is more than 10 miles away, and the site itself is located at an elevation of almost 13,000 feet above sea level. Moving such enormous, precisely cut stones across this difficult terrain without modern equipment seems like an almost impossible feat, but the ancient builders of Pumo did it. This combination of advanced stonework, complex design, and logistical challenges continues to make Pumapunku an object of intense study and speculation among researchers seeking to unravel its secrets. The underwater ruins of Pablo Petri pose a unique set of challenges for archaeologists due to their submerged location off the coast of southern Greece. Unlike land-based excavations, these ancient remains lie beneath the waves of the Mediterranean, requiring specialized equipment and techniques for exploration and documentation. One of the main difficulties stems from the constant presence of water, which limits visibility and complicates the use of traditional archaeological tools. Researchers must resort to underwater cameras, sonar technology, and diving equipment to navigate and study the site. The corrosive nature of salt water also poses a threat to any artifacts that may be discovered, requiring careful conservation methods. The dynamic underwater environment adds another layer of complexity. Sand movements and currents can alter the layout of the ruins over time, burying or exposing different areas of the ancient city. This constant change makes it difficult for archaeologists to maintain accurate maps and records of the site. Despite these obstacles, Pavlopetri's underwater location has also contributed to its remarkable preservation. Submerged for thousands of years, the ruins have been protected from many of the destructive forces that typically affect terrestrial archaeological sites, such as wind and rain erosion or damage caused by human activity. This unique preservation allows researchers to gain valuable insights into the daily life and urban planning of this ancient Greek settlement, making the challenges of studying Pavlopetri well worth the effort. The advanced astronomical knowledge of Chichen Itza, the ancient Mayan city in Mexico, continues to amaze scientists and archaeologists. The most famous structure, the Castle Pyramid, serves as a remarkable astronomical calendar, demonstrating the Mayans' sophisticated understanding of celestial movements. The pyramid's design incorporates precise alignments with solar events. During the spring and fall equinoxes, the setting sun casts a shadow on the north staircase of the pyramid, creating the illusion of a snake descending the steps. This effect, known as the descent of Kukulkan, demonstrates the Maya's ability to predict and mark important astronomical events. In addition, the four sides of the pyramid have 91 steps each, which, added to the upper platform, total 365 steps, coinciding with the number of days in a solar year. This design reflects the precise calculation of the Earth's orbit around the Sun, a feat that required centuries of careful observation and recording. The Maya also built an observatory called the Caracol, designed specifically for tracking celestial bodies. Its windows are aligned with key astronomical events, such as the movements of Venus and the positions of other planets. These structures reveal that the Maya possessed a level of astronomical knowledge that rivaled, and in some cases surpassed, that of their contemporaries in other parts of the world. The Bosnian pyramids have sparked intense debate in the archaeological community due to conflicting claims about their origin and meaning. At the center of this controversy is Samir Osmanagic, a Bosnian-American businessman who claims that these structures are ancient pyramids, built by an advanced civilization thousands of years ago. However, leading archaeologists and geologists strongly refute this claim. The debate centers mainly on whether these formations are natural or man-made. Osmanagic and his supporters argue that the pyramid shapes, apparent geometric alignments, and alleged underground tunnels indicate human construction. They propose dates ranging from 12,000 to 30,000 years ago, well before the known cultures known to have built pyramids. In contrast, scientific experts argue that the so-called pyramids are simply natural geological formations known as flatirons. These are common features in sedimentary landscapes formed by erosion over millions of years. They point out that the geology of the region is well documented and corresponds to natural processes, not artificial constructions. The ongoing controversy is fueled by the potential implications of Osmanagic's claims. If true, they would revolutionize our understanding of ancient human capabilities and history. However, the lack of credible archaeological evidence and rejection by leading scientists have led many to consider the Bosnian pyramids as pseudo-archaeology rather than an authentic historical site. The blight intaglios, huge drawings engraved into the ground in the California desert, continue to perplex archaeologists for a number of reasons. These ancient geoglyphs, some of which are over 30 m long, depict human and animal figures that have endured for centuries. Their exact age remains uncertain, with estimates ranging from 400 to 2,000 years. One of the main mysteries surrounding the blight intaglios is their purpose. Unlike other geoglyphs that appear to have astronomical or navigational functions, the intention behind these enormous figures remains unclear. Some researchers speculate that they may have had ceremonial or religious purposes, while others suggest that they could be territorial markers or representations of mythological beings. The identity of the creators also remains a subject of debate. Although most archaeologists attribute the intaglios to indigenous peoples of the region, such as the Mojave and Kachan tribes, there is no definitive evidence linking them to a specific culture. This uncertainty is compounded by the lack of artifacts or structures associated with the site that could provide clues about the creators and their motivations. In addition, the method of creation and the tools used to produce such precise, large-scale designs are not fully understood. The geoglyphs were made by scraping away the dark desert pavement to reveal the lighter earth beneath. But the exact techniques and tools used in their construction remain a subject of research and speculation among archaeologists. The band holes in Biru, a mysterious series of thousands of small circular depressions carved into the rock, has puzzled archaeologists and researchers for decades. Several theories have been proposed to explain their purpose and function. One suggests that the holes were used to store food. Proponents of this theory argue that the depressions could have been filled with produce and covered, creating a system of small silos to preserve food for the local population. Another hypothesis proposes that the band of holes served as a tax collection or accounting system for the Inca Empire. According to this theory, different groups filled the holes with various goods as tribute, allowing Inca officials to easily quantify and record contributions from different regions or communities. Some researchers have speculated that the holes may have had astronomical significance and functioned as a giant calendar or observatory. This theory suggests that the placement and arrangement of the holes may have been used to track celestial movements or mark important dates in the agricultural or religious calendar of the ancient inhabitants. A more recent theory proposes that the band of holes was part of an ancient hydraulic system designed to purify water. This hypothesis suggests that the holes were filled with charcoal and gravel, acting as a huge water filter to provide clean water to the surrounding population. Although each of these theories offers an intriguing possibility, the true purpose of the band of holes remains the subject of research and debate among archaeologists and historians. Researchers are tackling the task of deciphering the purpose of the Georgia Guidestones through a combination of historical research, linguistic analysis, and contextual interpretation. Erected in 1980 in Elbert County, Georgia, the Guidestones have puzzled scholars and the public alike with their enigmatic messages and mysterious origins. One of the main methods involves studying the inscriptions themselves. The stones contain texts in 8 modern languages and 4 ancient scripts, with guidelines for rebuilding civilization after a hypothetical catastrophe. Linguists and translators are working to ensure the accurate interpretation of these messages in all languages, looking for nuances or variations that may provide clues to their meaning. Another approach focuses on investigating the history surrounding the monument's creation. Researchers examine local records, interview residents, and follow documentary trails to uncover information about the anonymous group that commissioned the Guidestones. They also analyze the choice of location, the specific date of erection, and the materials used, as these factors may offer insight into the creator's motivations. Comparative analysis is another tool in the researcher's arsenal. By examining similar monuments, apocalyptic literature, and philosophical writings from various cultures and time periods, scholars attempt to place the Guidestones in a broader context of human thought and expression. This approach helps to understand whether the monument aligns with existing ideologies or represents a unique worldview. Mount Fuji, Japan's iconic volcano, captivates geologists with its extraordinarily symmetrical conical shape. This near-perfect symmetry is a rare geological feature that makes Fuji stand out among volcanoes around the world. Its distinctive shape is the result of a precise balance of volcanic processes over thousands of years. The volcano's symmetry is due to its consistent eruption pattern and the uniform distribution of volcanic materials. When Fuji erupts, it expels ash, lava, and other volcanic debris evenly around its central vent. This uniform dispersion of materials has gradually shaped the mountain's slopes at an almost identical angle in all directions, creating its famous conical shape. Geologists are particularly intrigued by how Mount Fuji has maintained this symmetry despite external factors that typically erode or deform volcanoes. The mountain's resistance to weathering, erosion, and tectonic forces is remarkable. This preservation of form provides valuable information about the underlying geological processes and the volcano's eruptive history. In addition, the symmetry of Mount Fuji offers clues about the stability of the land beneath it. The uniform distribution of weight and the absence of significant deformations suggest stable foundations, which is unusual for a volcano of its size. This stability, combined with its aesthetic appeal, makes Mount Fuji an object of constant geological study and admiration. The Chocolate Hills of the Philippines are a geological wonder that has intrigued scientists for decades. These unique formations consist of more than 1,000 perfectly conical hills scattered across the landscape of Bowl Island. Their peculiar appearance has led researchers to study their origin and composition. Geologists have determined that the Chocolate Hills are mainly composed of limestone, a sedimentary rock formed from the remains of marine organisms. This limestone was deposited on the seabed millions of years ago, when the area was submerged under an ancient ocean. Over time, tectonic forces pushed the seabed upward, exposing the limestone to the air and beginning the erosion process. The conical shape of the hills is attributed to a process called karst formation. As slightly acidic rainwater fell on the limestone, it slowly dissolved the rock, creating cracks and fissures. This process, which occurred over millions of years, gradually eroded the surrounding areas, leaving behind the most resistant parts in the form of conical hills. The uniform shape of the hills is believed to be due to a combination of factors, such as the consistent composition of the limestone and the relatively uniform climatic conditions in the region over time. During the dry seasons, the grass covering the hills turns brown, giving them a chocolate-like appearance and inspiring their name. This geological phenomenon is a testament to the Earth's ability to create extraordinary landscapes through slow and persistent natural processes. The Eye of the Sahara, also known as the Richard structure, has been puzzling scientists for decades. This circular feature, about 40 kilometers in diameter, is visible from space and resembles a giant bullseye in the Sahara Desert in Mauritania. Several theories have been proposed to explain its formation, each offering a unique perspective on this geological wonder. One prominent theory suggests that the Eye of the Sahara is the result of a deeply eroded geological dome. This explanation posits that the structure was formed when a pocket of magma rose from below but did not break through the surface. Over millions of years, erosion wore away the softer layers of rock, revealing the circular pattern we see today. This theory is supported by the presence of syenite and sedimentary rocks in the structure. Another hypothesis proposes that the Richard structure could be the remnant of an ancient impact crater. However, this theory has fallen out of favor among geologists. The lack of evidence of shock metamorphism, which is often associated with meteorite impacts, makes this explanation less likely. Furthermore, the perfectly circular shape is atypical of impact craters, which are usually more irregular. A more recent theory suggests that the Sahara Eye could be the result of a massive hydrothermal explosion. This explanation proposes that superheated steam and gases built up beneath the surface and eventually exploded in a colossal eruption. The circular pattern could have been created by the outward force of the explosion, followed by subsequent erosion. Although intriguing, this theory requires further research to be fully accepted by the scientific community. The magnetic hill phenomenon found in places such as Magnetic Hill in New Brunswick, Canada, creates a fascinating optical illusion that often leaves visitors scratching their heads in amazement. This baffling experience occurs when a slight downhill slope appears to be an uphill slope, causing objects such as cars to roll uphill against gravity. The illusion is so convincing that many visitors believe it is a mysterious magnetic force pulling vehicles up the hill. In reality, the effect is due to a clever trick of perspective. The surrounding landscape hides the true horizon line, making it difficult for our brains to accurately judge the slope of the road. What makes this phenomenon even more intriguing is how it challenges our innate sense of spatial awareness. Humans tend to rely on visual cues from the environment to determine changes in altitude. On magnetic hills, these cues are distorted, leading our brains to misinterpret the actual topography. This disconnect between what we see and what we expect can create a sense of wonder and disbelief. The magnetic hill illusion reminds us how easy it is to fool our perception. It highlights the complex relationship between our visual system and our understanding of the physical world, demonstrating that even something as fundamental as the direction of a slope can be misinterpreted under the right conditions. The rock formations in Qionghai National Forest Park in China are a testament to the extraordinary power of nature over vast stretches of time. These towering pillars of quartz sandstone rise dramatically from the misty forest below, creating a landscape that seems almost otherworldly. What makes these formations truly unique is their sheer number and concentration. More than 3,000 sandstone pillars and peaks fill the park, some of which reach heights of over 1,000 m. The characteristic shape of these pillars is the result of physical erosion over millions of years. The area was once an ancient seabed that gradually rose due to tectonic activity. As it rose, cracks formed in the quartz sandstone. Water seeped into these cracks, slowly eroding the softer rock and leaving behind the harder quartz formations. This process, combined with ice cycles and the lush vegetation growing on and around the pillars, has sculpted the impressive landscape we see today. The rock's composition itself contributes to Zhang Yahi's uniqueness. Quartz sandstone is particularly resistant to erosion, allowing these slender pillars to maintain their impressive height and distinctive shapes. The region's subtropical climate, with its high humidity and frequent rainfall, has also played a crucial role in shaping these formations, creating an environment where erosion is constant but gradual. The interaction between the stone pillars and the surrounding ecosystem adds to Chiney's charm. Lush forests carpet the ground between the towers, while tenacious trees and plants cling to the sides and tops of the pillars themselves. This combination of bare rock and vibrant vegetation creates a visual spectacle that has captivated the imagination of visitors from around the world, even inspiring the floating mountains in the movie Avatar. The balancing rocks of Matobo National Park in Zimbabwe have fascinated scientists and visitors alike for centuries. These extraordinary formations, in which huge rocks seem to defy gravity by perching precariously on top of each other, are the result of a complex interaction of geological processes over millions of years. Geologists explain that these balanced rocks, also known as balanced rocks or rock piles, are mainly the product of erosion. The process begins with the weathering of granite, the predominant rock type in the Matobo area. Over time, water seeps into the cracks and crevices of the granite, gradually widening them through a combination of physical and chemical erosion. As erosion continues, the softer layers of rock beneath the surface wear away more quickly than the harder outer layers. This differential erosion creates unusual shapes, leaving behind harder, more resistant rock formations. The resulting boulders often appear delicately balanced on small points of contact, when in fact they are the remains of much larger rock masses. Experts also point out that the unique climate and weather patterns of the Matobo region play a crucial role in the formation of these formations. The area experiences distinct wet and dry seasons that contribute to the weathering process. In addition, the relatively low seismic activity in the region has allowed these seemingly precarious formations to remain intact for thousands of years, further adding to their mystique and scientific interest. The Baalbek trilithon in Lebanon has been a source of fascination and debate for centuries. This ancient wonder consists of 3 enormous stone blocks. Each weighs approximately 1,000 tons and is precisely fitted into the foundations of the Temple of Jupiter. The controversy surrounding its origin stems from several factors that challenge our understanding of ancient engineering capabilities. First, the size and weight of these megaliths raise important questions about how they were transported and placed in there. Location. The largest known stone block, called the South Stone, weighs about 100 tons. Moving and placing such enormous stones would be a formidable task, even with modern technology, let alone the tools available in ancient times. Another point of controversy is the precision with which these stones were cut and fitted together. The blocks are so perfectly aligned that it is almost impossible to insert even a thin blade between them. This level of precision has led some to wonder whether ancient civilizations possessed advanced technologies or knowledge that has been lost. The debate is fueled by the lack of historical records detailing the construction methods used at Baalbek. Although the site was undoubtedly an important religious center in Roman times, the exact age and origin of the trilithon remain uncertain. Some researchers argue that the foundation stones predate the Roman temple, suggesting that they were part of an earlier, unknown civilization. This mystery has given rise to several alternative theories, including extraterrestrial involvement. Although such claims are not supported by conventional archaeology, the moving rocks of Rak Playa in Death Valley continue to captivate scientists and nature enthusiasts alike. These mysterious stones, some of which weigh hundreds of kilograms, leave long trails behind them as they appear to slide across the dry lake bed. For decades, their movement has puzzled researchers, giving rise to numerous theories and investigations. Although the main mechanism behind the rock's movement was discovered in 2014, scientists continue to study this phenomenon for several reasons. First, the specific conditions necessary for the rocks to move are rare and difficult to observe directly. Researchers aim to better understand how often these conditions occur and how they may be affected by climate change. In addition, the rocks serve as natural markers for studying erosion and sediment movement in this unique environment. Tracking the rocks and their tracks over time allows scientists to better understand the subtle changes occurring on the beach surface. This information is valuable for understanding similar geological processes elsewhere in the world, including possible analogs on other planets. Finally, the moving rocks at Racetrack Beach offer an excellent opportunity to study the intersection of geology, physics, and meteorology. As we continue to refine our understanding of this phenomenon, we may discover new insights into the complex interactions between wind, water, ice, and rocks in extreme environments. This knowledge could have applications in fields ranging from planetary science to materials engineering. The Giant's Causeway, located on the north coast of Northern Ireland, has been the subject of several scientific theories about its formation. The most widely accepted explanation is that this extraordinary geological feature was created by volcanic activity during the Paleogene period around 60 million years ago. According to geologists, the causeway was formed as a result of intense volcanic eruptions that covered the area with molten basalt. As it cooled and solidified, the lava contracted and fractured, following a characteristic pattern, creating the hexagonal columns we see today. This process, known as columnar jointing, is responsible for the unique appearance of the causeway. Some researchers have proposed that the specific environmental conditions of the time played a crucial role in the formation of the causeway. They suggest that the cooling rate and composition of the lava influenced the size and regularity of the columns. The interaction between the cooling lava and the underlying chalk beds may also have contributed to the formation of the distinctive patterns. Although these scientific explanations are widely accepted today, it is worth noting that for centuries local folklore attributed the creation of the causeway to the legendary Irish giant Fincal. This myth illustrates how extraordinary natural phenomena often inspire imaginative explanations before scientific knowledge develops. The blood waterfalls of Antarctica are a striking visual phenomenon that has intrigued scientists for decades. These vibrant red waterfalls flowing from the Taylor Glacier are not actually blood, but the result of a unique geological and biological process. Researchers have discovered that the source of the blood lakes is an ancient saltwater lake trapped under the glacier for millions of years. This subglacial lake is rich in iron and other minerals that have slowly seeped from the surrounding rock bed over time. When this iron-rich water comes into contact with oxygen at the surface, it oxidizes rapidly, creating the distinctive rust-red color that gives the falls their name. The extreme conditions of the subglacial lake have also given rise to a remarkable ecosystem of microorganisms. These hardy bacteria have adapted to survive in an environment devoid of light and oxygen, using sulfate as a catalyst to breathe and obtain energy from iron compounds. Their metabolic processes contribute to the unique chemical composition of the water and help to keep it in a liquid state despite the freezing temperatures. The blood lakes provide a window into the hidden world beneath the Antarctic ice and offer valuable data about potential life in extreme environments, both on Earth and possibly on other planets. This natural wonder continues to captivate scientists, as it offers a unique opportunity to study ancient microbial communities and the complex interactions between geology, biology, and climate in one of the most remote places on our planet. The collapse of the Mayan civilization continues to baffle historians because of its speed and extent. This advanced society, which had flourished for over 2,000 years, experienced a dramatic decline between 800 and the millennium AD. What makes this event particularly mysterious is the lack of a single, clear cause that can fully explain the fall of such a sophisticated and well-established culture. Several factors have been proposed that contributed to the Mayan collapse, but none alone seem sufficient to explain the magnitude and speed of the decline. Environmental problems, such as prolonged drought and deforestation, probably played a role, but it remains unclear why the Mayans were unable to adapt to these challenges as they had done in the past. Some scholars suggest that war and political instability may have increased, leading to the abandonment of major cities, but evidence of large-scale conflict is limited. The mystery deepens when considering the uneven nature of the collapse across different Mayan regions. While some areas experienced rapid depopulation and the abandonment of urban centers, others continued to thrive for centuries. This inconsistency makes it difficult for historians to develop a comprehensive explanation applicable to the entire Mayan world. Adding to this enigma is the scarcity of written records from the period of collapse. The Mayans were known for their extensive documentation, but few accounts survive that shed light on the events and conditions of this critical era. This lack of primary sources forces researchers to rely heavily on archaeological evidence that may be open to various interpretations. The combination of these factors ensures that the sudden collapse of the Maya civilization remains a captivating mystery that continually attracts the attention of historians and archaeologists seeking to unravel its complexities. The rapid decline of the Indus Valley civilization has puzzled experts for decades, giving rise to several theories that attempt to explain this mysterious collapse. One of the main hypotheses focuses on environmental changes, particularly in the monsoons, which are crucial to agriculture in the region. Some researchers suggest that a prolonged drought may have severely affected crop yields, leading to food shortages and social unrest. Another explanation points to the possibility of catastrophic flooding. The Indus River, which was fundamental to civilization, may have changed course or suffered extreme flooding that destroyed cities and farmland. This theory is supported by thick layers of silt found at some sites in the Indus Valley. Experts have also considered the role of climate change on a larger scale. The gradual drying up of the region over centuries may have made it increasingly difficult to sustain large urban populations, forcing people to abandon cities in search of more fertile land. This gradual decline could explain why no clear signs of violent conquest have been found at many Indus Valley sites. Some researchers propose that internal social or political factors contributed to the civilization's downfall. These include conflicts between different groups within society, the breakdown of trade networks, or the inability of the centralized system to adapt to changing environmental conditions. Although there is no single theory that fully explains the rapid decline, it is likely that a combination of these factors led to the eventual collapse of this once prosperous civilization. The disappearance of the Ronk colony remains one of the most enduring mysteries in the United States. Several theories attempt to explain what happened to the settlers who disappeared without a trace at the end of the 10th century. One prominent theory suggests that the settlers integrated with local Native American tribes. This idea is supported by reports of European-looking individuals with gray eyes seen in the area after the colony's disappearance. Some historians believe that the settlers sought refuge with friendly indigenous groups when they faced hardship. Another theory proposes that the settlers attempted to return to England but were lost at sea. This explanation accounts for the complete absence of remains or clear evidence of their fate on land. However, there is no record of any ship rescuing a large group of settlers during that period. Some researchers speculate that the settlers fell victim to hostile Native American tribes or Spanish raiders. This theory is based on the tense relations between the colonists and some indigenous groups, as well as Spain's opposition to English colonization efforts. However, the lack of physical evidence of a violent confrontation casts doubt on this idea. Historians and archaeologists hope to continue investigating to uncover new clues that may solve the mystery of the lost colony of Ronok. The mystery of the Mary Celeste has captivated researchers and the public for over a century. This merchant ship was discovered adrift in the Atlantic Ocean in 1872, completely abandoned but otherwise in good condition. The fate of its 10 crew members remains a mystery, fueling speculation and debate among maritime historians and mystery buffs. What makes this case particularly puzzling is the lack of clear evidence pointing to a specific cause for the abandonment. The ship was found with abundant provisions. The crew's personal effects were intact, and there were no signs of violence or struggle. This absence of obvious clues has given rise to numerous theories ranging from natural phenomena to more fantastical explanations, but none have been conclusively proven. Adding to the intrigue is the ship's log, which was found on board but did not explain the crew's disappearance. The last entry, made just 9 days before the ship was discovered, gave no indication of imminent danger or unusual circumstances. This has left investigators with a significant gap in the timeline, making it difficult to reconstruct the events that led to the abandonment. The case of the Mary Celeste continues to fascinate because it represents a perfect storm of unanswered questions. The combination of a well-preserved ship, a missing crew, and a lack of definitive evidence has created a historical puzzle that seems to defy all logical explanation. As new technologies and investigative techniques emerge, researchers remain hopeful that they will finally be able to unravel the secrets of this maritime mystery. The Coral Castle in Florida is a testament to human ingenuity and mystery. This extraordinary structure was built by Edward Litskaln, a Latvian immigrant, over a period of 28 years. What makes the Coral Castle truly enigmatic is the scale of the project and the methods used in its construction. The castle is made up of huge blocks of coral rock, some of which weigh up to 30 tons. Litskaln, who is just over 5 feet tall and weighed only 45 kilograms, managed to extract, transport, and precisely place these enormous stones without using modern machinery. Even more baffling is that he worked mainly at night, away from prying eyes, and claimed to know the secrets used to build the ancient pyramids. Adding to the mystery is the purpose of Coral Castle. Litskaln dedicated the structure to his lost love, who had called off their wedding just 1 day before the ceremony. He never fully explained his techniques or motivations, leading to widespread speculation about supernatural abilities or advanced knowledge of magnetism and leverage. The precision of the stonework is another source of amazement. The castle has a 9-ton door that can be opened with a gentle push thanks to its perfect balance. This level of engineering precision, achieved by a man who had only completed 4th grade, continues to baffle experts and visitors alike, making Coral Castle an enduring enigma in the realm of architectural mysteries. The preserved bodies discovered in China's Darien Basin have fascinated scientists for decades. These extraordinarily well-preserved mummies, some of which date back more than 4,000 years, owe their exceptional condition to the region's unique environmental factors. The Darien Basin, located in the Shanxi region of northwestern China, is characterized by extremely dry and salty conditions that have acted as natural preservatives for these ancient remains. The arid climate of the Darien Basin plays a crucial role in the preservation process. With little rainfall and low humidity, the bodies dehydrated shortly after burial, preventing the proliferation of bacteria and fungi that usually cause decomposition. The region's salt-rich soil further aided preservation by drawing moisture from the bodies and creating an inhospitable environment for microorganisms. Another factor contributing to the exceptional preservation is the burial method used by the ancient inhabitants of the region. Many of the bodies were found in wooden, boat-shaped coffins covered with cattle hides. These materials, combined with the natural mummification process, help protect the remains from the elements and pests. Scientists have also observed that some of the mummies show signs of intentional preservation techniques, such as the application of herbs and other plant materials. This suggests that the ancient inhabitants of the Darien Basin may have some knowledge of preservation methods and actively sought to protect their dead from decay. The combination of these intentional practices and fortuitous environmental conditions has resulted in an extraordinary glimpse into the past, allowing researchers to study not only the physical characteristics, but also the clothing, belongings, and even the diet of these ancient individuals. The Voynich manuscript continues to spark intense debate among scholars and amateurs alike due to its enigmatic nature and resistance to deciphering. This mysterious tome, dating back to the early 15th century, contains strange illustrations of unknown plants, astronomical diagrams, and text written in an indecipherable script that has baffled experts for centuries. The current debate centers on several key aspects of the manuscript. First, the purpose of the document remains unclear. Some argue that it could be a medical treatise, while others suggest that it could be an alchemical text or even an elaborate hoax. The unusual illustrations depicting unidentifiable plants and celestial objects further fuel speculation about its intended use. Another point of contention is the manuscript's origin. Although carbon dating places its creation in the early 14th century, the identity of its author and the culture that produced it remain unknown. This lack of contextual information makes it difficult to determine the true purpose of a work. The inability to decipher the text adds another layer of mystery. Despite numerous attempts by linguists, cryptographers, and computer scientists, the writing has resisted all efforts at translation. This persistent indecipherability leads some to wonder whether the text contains any meaningful information, while others remain convinced that it contains valuable knowledge waiting to be deciphered. The mystery of Amelia's disappearance. Earhart continues to captivate us more than 8 decades after her last flight. Despite numerous expeditions and investigations, no definitive explanation has been found due to a combination of factors that have hampered efforts to uncover the truth. A major challenge is the vast search area in the Pacific Ocean, where Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan, are believed to have disappeared. The region covers thousands of square miles of open sea and remote islands, making it logistically difficult and extremely costly to explore thoroughly. The passage of time has also complicated matters, as potential evidence may have been lost or degraded due to natural processes and human activity. Adding to this complexity are conflicting theories and contradictory witness accounts. Some believe that Earhart crashed and sank into the ocean, while others suggest that he may have landed on an uninhabited island and survived for a time. The lack of conclusive physical evidence to support any single theory has led to ongoing debate and speculation among researchers and enthusiasts. The technological limitations of the 1930s also play a role in the mystery. The aircraft's radio equipment and navigation tools were primitive by modern standards, making it difficult to pinpoint Earhart's exact location at the time of his disappearance. This uncertainty has given rise to a wide range of possible hypotheses, each supported by different interpretations of the available data and historical records. The Phaistos disk, discovered in 1908 on the Greek island of Crete, remains one of archaeology's most intriguing mysteries. This clay disk, dating back to the Bronze Age, features a spiral of stamped symbols that continue to baffle researchers and spark numerous theories about its origin and purpose. One of the best-known theories suggests that the disk is an ancient form of writing, possibly a unique script or language. Some scholars propose that it could be an early example of movable type printing, predating Gutenberg's invention by thousands of years. Others speculate that it could be a calendar, a religious text, or even a board game. A controversial theory posits that the disk could be a sophisticated astronomical tool used to track celestial movements or predict eclipses. Some researchers have drawn parallels between symbols on the disk and the constellations, although this interpretation remains highly debated. In academic circles, skeptics have also proposed that the Phaistos disk could be an elaborate hoax, although most experts reject this idea based on the archaeological context of the disk and the complexity of its design. Despite decades of study, the true purpose of this enigmatic artifact remains difficult to unravel and continues to fuel academic debate and captivate the public imagination. The Piri Reis map, created in 151 by the Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis, has puzzled researchers for centuries due to its apparent advanced geographical knowledge. This map, which shows parts of South America, Africa, and even Antarctica, appears to contain information that was not widely known at the time of its creation. One explanation proposed by researchers is that Pyrie Reis had access to ancient maps and sources that are now lost. He claimed to have used some 20 maps and charts as references, some of which dated back to the time of Alexander the Great. This suggests that ancient civilizations may have possessed more advanced cartographic knowledge than previously believed. Another theory is that the map's accuracy is partly coincidental or the result of misinterpretation. Some researchers argue that what appears to be Antarctica could actually be a distorted representation of the coast of South America, or even the mythical Terra Australis Incognita, a hypothetical southern continental landmass. Some more controversial explanations involve the idea of ancient, advanced civilizations, or even extraterrestrial influence. However, most mainstream researchers dismiss these theories, focusing instead on the possibility of lost historical sources and the cartographic techniques available in the early 10th century. The debate surrounding the Pyrie and Ray map continues to intrigue historians and cartographers and highlights the complexity of understanding historical scientific achievements. Lake Bostock, hidden beneath nearly 4 kilometers of Antarctic ice, has a truly extraordinary ecosystem unlike any other on Earth. This huge subglacial lake has been isolated from the rest of the world for millions of years, creating a time capsule of ancient microbial life. The extreme pressure, total darkness, and extremely low nutrient levels of Lake Bostock have led to the evolution of uniquely adapted microorganisms. These life forms have developed special mechanisms to survive in an environment with oxygen levels 50 times higher than those found in typical freshwater lakes. Some scientists believe that these microbes could use alternative energy sources, such as chemical compounds from hydrothermal vents, to sustain themselves. The lake's isolation has also protected it from external contamination, making it one of the most pristine bodies of water on our planet. This purity allows researchers to study microbial communities that have evolved independently for millennia, which could help us understand how life could exist in similar environments on other worlds, such as the icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn. The unique conditions of Lake Bostock have created an ecosystem that serves as a window into Earth's past and a potential model for extraterrestrial life. As scientists continue to study this hidden world, they are uncovering new mysteries and expanding our understanding of the adaptability of life in extreme environments. The mysterious disappearances and reappearances of Lake Cache 2 in Chilean Patagonia have captivated scientists and observers alike. This phenomenon is closely linked to the behavior of glaciers and the unique geography of the region. Lake Cache Gun is formed by meltwater from the Colonia Glacier, which is part of the northern Patagonian ice field. The lake's cyclical disappearance is due to a process known as glacial lake outburst flooding. As the glacier retreats due to warming temperatures, it creates a natural dam that holds back the lake's waters. However, this dam is not stable and can suddenly break under the immense pressure of the accumulated water. The breach of the ice dam triggers catastrophic drainage. Within hours, the entire lake, containing billions of liters of water, rushes out through tunnels under the glacier. This rapid outflow can cause the water level to drop by up to 30 m, leaving behind an empty lake bed dotted with icebergs. The lake then gradually refills as meltwater from the glacier and surrounding snowfields flows back into the basin. This process can take several months, during which time the ice dam reforms. Once the lake refills, the cycle is ready to repeat itself. Scientists are closely monitoring these phenomena, as they provide valuable information about the impact of climate change on glacial systems and the potential hazards for communities downstream. Lake Hillier in Australia has captivated scientists and visitors alike with its striking pink hue. Several theories attempt to explain the origin of this unusual coloration. 1. Prominent hypothesis suggests that the lake's color is due to the presence of Dunaliella salina, a species of halophilic green microalgae. These microorganisms produce beta-carotene, a reddish pigment that may contribute to the lake's pink hue. Another theory proposes that the pink color is the result of a combination of microorganisms, including certain species of archaea and bacteria. These microbes thrive in the lake's hypersaline environment and may produce pigments as part of their survival strategy. Some researchers believe that a specific type of bacteria called halobacteria, known for their pink to red pigmentation, may play an important role in creating the lake's unique hue. The high salt content of Lake Hillier is also believed to be a crucial factor in its coloration. The lake's salinity, comparable to that of the Dead Sea, creates an environment in which only specialized organisms can survive. This extreme salinity could enhance the production of pigments by resident microorganisms, intensifying the lake's pink appearance. Interestingly, some scientists have suggested that chemical reactions between salt and other minerals in the lake could contribute to its color. The presence of iron oxide or other mineral compounds could interact with the microorganisms and salt, further influencing the lake's characteristic pink hue. Despite these theories, the exact mechanism behind the coloration of Lake Hillier remains a subject of research and scientific curiosity. Lake News in Cameroon hides a deadly secret beneath its calm surface. This seemingly tranquil body of water is actually a crater lake sitting atop a pocket of magma that continuously releases carbon dioxide into the depths of the lake. The immense pressure at the bottom of the lake forces the gas to dissolve in the water, creating a highly concentrated layer of carbonated liquid. What makes Lake Neos truly dangerous is its potential for limnic eruptions. These rare geological phenomena occur when the delicate balance of the lake is disturbed, causing the dissolved carbon dioxide to suddenly burst out of the water like a shaken soda bottle. The result is a huge, invisible cloud of carbon dioxide that can suffocate everything in its path. In 1986, Lake Neos triggered such an eruption, releasing a cloud of carbon dioxide that killed more than 1,700 people and countless animals in nearby villages. The gas, being heavier than air, sank into the valleys and suffocated the victims as they slept, leaving a trail of silent devastation. Today, scientists are closely monitoring the lake and have put measures in place to gradually release the accumulated carbon dioxide, thereby reducing the risk of future disasters. However, the lake remains a stark reminder of the hidden dangers that can lurk in seemingly peaceful natural wonders and of the importance of understanding and respecting the powerful forces at work beneath the Earth's surface. The underwater river in the cenote, Angelita in Mexico, offers divers an amazing spectacle. This extraordinary phenomenon occurs about 30 m below the surface of the cenote, where a distinct layer of water appears to flow like a river through the surrounding clear water. What makes this underwater river so baffling is its seemingly impossible nature. Divers can see what appear to be riverbanks, fallen leaves, and even trees along the edges of this stream of water. All this while they are completely submerged. The illusion is so convincing that divers often say they feel like they are flying above a river in the air rather than swimming in water. The secret of this underwater river lies in a unique interaction between fresh and salt water. The top layer of the cenote is fresh water, while the bottom layer is salt water. Between these two layers, a third layer forms, consisting of hydrogen sulfide and other decomposed organic matter. This layer is much denser than the surrounding water, causing it to sink and flow like a river along the bottom of the cenote. The baffling nature of this underwater river challenges our perception of what is possible beneath the surface. It reminds us of the complex and often surprising ways in which different substances can interact in nature, creating phenomena that seem to defy our understanding of the underwater world. The Cano Cristales River in Colombia, often called the River of Five Colors or Liquid Rainbow, is undoubtedly an extraordinary natural wonder. However, it is important to clarify that the river is not perfectly circular. The misconception about its shape is probably due to confusion with other geological features or misinterpretation of aerial images. Cano Cristales is actually a relatively straight river that flows through the Macarena mountain range. Its fame is due to the vibrant colors it displays. During certain months of the year, caused by a unique aquatic plant called Macarenia clavidura. This plant turns bright red under specific conditions, contrasting beautifully with the blue water, green algae, and yellow and black sand. The course of the river is shaped by the local geology, following the natural contours and erosion patterns typical of rivers in mountainous regions. The circular patterns seen in the area are more related to the surrounding geological formations, or perhaps to circular ponds formed by water erosion along the river's course. Experts studying Canacristas focus more on its unique ecosystem and the conditions that create its famous colors than on explaining a supposed circular shape. The true wonder of the river lies in its biodiversity and the delicate balance of conditions that produce its impressive visual display, making it a subject of interest to scientists and nature enthusiasts alike. The debate over the true origin of the Amazon River stems from the complex nature of river systems and the challenges of defining what constitutes the origin of a river. Several factors contribute to this debate among geographers and hydrologists. A key issue is the definition of a river's source. Some argue that the source should be the point furthest from the river's mouth, while others argue that it should be the point with the highest elevation or the tributary that contributes the most water. In the case of the Amazon, different tributaries meet these criteria, giving rise to conflicting claims. The remote and rugged terrain of the Andes mountain range, where the headwaters of the Amazon are located, has made it difficult to conduct comprehensive studies and measurements. This geographical challenge has led to conflicting reports and incomplete data, further fueling the debate. Historical and cultural factors also play a role. Over the years, different expeditions and researchers have made claims about the birth of the Amazon, sometimes influenced by national pride or a desire for scientific recognition. These different accounts have contributed to the ongoing debate about the river's true origin, making it a subject of continued exploration and study. The mysterious changes in the water level of Lake Anchiconie, located in the remote Canadian territory of Nunavut, continue to perplex scientists and locals alike. This remote freshwater lake nestled in the harsh Arctic landscape has shown sudden and dramatic fluctuations in its water levels that defy conventional explanations. Normally, lake levels change gradually due to factors such as precipitation, evaporation, and groundwater inflow. However, Lake Anchiconie has been observed to rise or fall by several meters in a matter of hours or days, a phenomenon that cannot be attributed to normal environmental processes. Some theories propose that underground channels or caverns could be responsible for the rapid changes in water level, allowing large volumes of water to flow quickly into or out of the lake. Others suggest that seismic activity or changes in the permafrost could be altering the lake's basin, affecting its capacity. However, none of these hypotheses has been conclusively proven. The remote location of the lake and the harsh Arctic conditions have made it difficult for researchers to conduct comprehensive, long-term studies of this phenomenon. As a result, the sudden changes in water level in Lake Anchiconie remain one of Canada's most enduring geological mysteries, inviting speculation and scientific investigation. The door to hell, also known as the Darbaza gas crater, has given rise to numerous theories about its formation. The most widely accepted explanation attributes its origin to a Soviet-era geological expedition in 1971. According to this account, Soviet scientists were drilling for oil in the Karakum Desert when they accidentally drilled into a large underground cavern of natural gas. The drilling rig collapsed into the newly formed crater, raising concerns about the release of potentially dangerous gases. To prevent the spread of toxic gases, geologists decided to set fire to the gas, hoping it would burn out in a few weeks. However, the flames have continued to burn for more than 5 decades, fueled by the huge reserves of natural gas beneath the Turkmenistan desert. This persistent combustion has given rise to the dramatic nickname of the place and its status as an unusual geological phenomenon. Some researchers have proposed alternative theories, suggesting that the crater could have been formed by a meteorite impact or underground volcanic activity. However, these hypotheses lack substantial evidence and are generally dismissed by the scientific community. The absence of impact structures or characteristic volcanic formations in the surrounding area further supports the human origin of the gate to hell. The ongoing combustion at the site has attracted considerable scientific interest, and researchers are studying the unique extremophile bacteria that have adapted to living in the intense heat of the crater. These studies contribute to our understanding of life in extreme environments and may have implications for the search for life on other planets with harsh conditions. Antarctica's blood waterfalls are a surprising and unusual natural phenomenon that has intrigued scientists for decades. These bright red waterfalls cascading down the Taylor Glacier look as if the ice itself is bleeding, creating a striking contrast with the white and blue landscape. Researchers have discovered that the source of this crimson flow is an ancient subglacial lake trapped under the ice for millions of years. This lake is extremely salty and rich in iron, which oxidizes on contact with the air, giving the water its characteristic red hue. The high salt content prevents the water from freezing, allowing it to flow out through cracks in the glacier. The ecosystem of this subglacial lake is of particular interest to scientists, despite having been isolated from the atmosphere for millions of years without light or heat. The lake contains microbial life. These microorganisms have adapted to survive in extreme conditions, using sulfate as a catalyst to breathe with ferric iron and metabolize traces of organic matter trapped with them long ago. This unique environment serves as a valuable analog for potential life in extreme conditions elsewhere in the universe, such as under the ice caps of Mars or on the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. The blood falls, therefore, offer a glimpse not only into the geological and biological history of Earth, but also into the potential for life in seemingly inhospitable environments beyond our planet. Crop circles have been puzzling researchers for decades with their intricate designs and mysterious origins, sparking intense debate. These large-scale patterns found in wheat, barley, and other crops continue to appear around the world, often overnight, and without a clear explanation. One aspect that baffles researchers is the enormous complexity and precision of many crop circle designs. Some formations feature intricate geometric patterns, mathematical proportions, and even representations of complex scientific concepts. The level of detail and precision in these designs seems to defy simple human creation, especially given the time constraints and darkness in which many of them appear. Another puzzling factor is the physical anomalies often found in crop circles. Researchers have reported unusual electromagnetic readings, changes in soil composition, and alterations in plant structures that are difficult to explain by conventional means. Some plants in the formations show signs of rapid heating or bending that cannot be easily reproduced with mechanical tools, despite numerous attempts to discredit the phenomenon, including by some individuals who claim responsibility for creating crop circles. Many formations remain unexplained. The continued appearance of these enigmatic designs, often in hard-to-reach places or under close observation, keeps researchers searching for answers and fuels ongoing speculation about their true origin and meaning. Scientists approach the study of unidentified aerial phenomena with methodological rigor and skepticism. They analyze reported sightings, collect data from multiple sources, and seek rational explanations based on known natural and anthropogenic phenomena. A key approach is to examine alternative explanations for these sightings. Scientists consider factors such as misidentified conventional aircraft, atmospheric phenomena, optical illusions, and even psychological factors that could influence perception and memory. They also investigate the possibility that experimental military technology, or drones, may explain some observations. Advanced sensor technologies play a crucial role in modern investigations, Scientists use radar systems, infrared cameras, and other sophisticated equipment to capture data on these phenomena. This allows for more objective analysis and helps separate genuine anomalies from easily explainable events. Collaboration between different scientific disciplines is essential in this field. Astronomers, physicists, meteorologists, and psychologists work together to provide comprehensive explanations. This multidisciplinary approach ensures that various aspects of these phenomena are thoroughly examined, from their physical characteristics to the human factors involved in their observation and reporting. Ball lightning remains one of the most enigmatic and controversial phenomena in atmospheric physics. This rare and mysterious form of lightning appears as bright, floating spheres that can persist for several seconds or even minutes, defying our current understanding of electrical discharges in the atmosphere. Several theories attempt to explain the nature and origin of ball lightning. One of the leading hypotheses suggests that ball lightning forms when a lightning bolt strikes the ground, vaporizes silicon in the soil, and creates a floating ball of incandescent silicon nanoparticles. This theory explains the object's ability to pass through small openings and its occasional scorching effects on surfaces. Another proposed explanation involves the creation of a plasma bubble where air molecules are ionized and emit light. Some researchers speculate that microwave radiation trapped in this plasmasphere could explain the long duration and stability of ball lightning. Other theories propose that ball lightning could be a miniature black hole or a manifestation of dark matter interacting with our atmosphere. Despite numerous eyewitness accounts throughout history, the scientific community has had difficulty studying ball lightning due to its unpredictable and fleeting nature. As technology advances, researchers hope to obtain more reliable data on this elusive phenomenon and unlock the secrets of one of nature's most puzzling electrical displays. The WOW signal detected by astronomer Jerry Iman at the Big Ear Radio Telescope at Ohio State University in 1977 continues to intrigue scientists and remains one of the most compelling potential signs of extraterrestrial intelligence ever recorded. This powerful narrowband radio signal lasted 72 seconds and was 30 times stronger than background noise, prompting Iman to famously go on the press, which makes the WOW signal unique and impossible to explain by known celestial phenomena or human sources. The frequency of the signal was close to the hydrogen line, a frequency that scientists believe extraterrestrial civilizations could use to communicate due to its importance in astronomy. Despite numerous attempts, researchers have not detected the signal again, adding to its mystery. Several hypotheses have been proposed to explain the signal, including the passage of a comet, a natural anomaly, or an actual extraterrestrial transmission. However, none of these explanations fully account for all of the observed characteristics of the signal. The comet hypothesis, for example, has been largely ruled out as the proposed comets were not in the correct position at the time of the signal's detection. The inability to reproduce or explain the signal, WOW, highlights the challenges posed by the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. It serves as a reminder of how much we still have to understand about the universe and the potential for intelligent life beyond Earth. As technology advances and our methods for searching for extraterrestrial signals improve, scientists continue to investigate this enigmatic event in the hope of one day unraveling its origins and meaning. The Georgia Guidestones have been a source of intrigue and controversy since their erection in 1980. These massive granite slabs, often referred to as the American Stonehenge, were commissioned by a mysterious individual using the pseudonym R.C. Christian. To date, the true identity of this person remains unknown, fueling speculation and conspiracy theories about the monument's origins. The controversy surrounding the Guidestones is largely due to the inscriptions carved into the stones. These messages, written in 8 different languages, outline 10 principles or guidelines for humanity. Some of these principles, such as keeping the world population below 500 million and wisely directing reproduction, have been interpreted by some as promoting population control, or even eugenics. Critics argue that the monument's message aligns with secret society ideologies or globalist agendas aimed at establishing a new world order. Supporters, on the other hand, see the guidestones as a call for rational thinking and long-term planning for human survival. The anonymity of the creator and a lack of a clear context for the monument's purpose have allowed. The controversial nature of the Georgia Guidestones is amplified by their destruction in July 2022 by an explosive device. This act of vandalism, captured on security cameras, has only added to the mystery and debate surrounding these enigmatic stones, leaving many wondering about the motivations behind both their creation and their destruction. Electronic voice phenomena, or EVP, have puzzled researchers and enthusiasts of the paranormal for decades. These unexplained sounds or voices captured on audio recordings continue to spark debate and scientific investigation. Experts approach this phenomenon from various angles, seeking rational explanations for these mysterious occurrences. One theory suggests that EVP could be due to auditory pareidolia, a psychological tendency to perceive meaningful patterns in random noise. The human brain is programmed to find familiar sounds, especially voices, even in ambiguous audio. This could explain why some people hear distinct words or phrases in recordings that others perceive as mere static or background noise. Another explanation has to do with radio frequency interference. Sometimes electronic devices can pick up stray signals from radio transmissions, wireless communications, or other nearby electronic sources. These unintended signals can be misinterpreted as voices or messages, especially when the audio quality is poor or the environment is electrically noisy. Some researchers propose that EVP could be due to cross-modulation, in which two or more audio signals combine to create new, unintended sounds. This technical phenomenon could occur in the recording equipment or during the playback process, potentially generating what sounds like coherent speech from disparate audio sources. Although these explanations may provide some insight, the debate surrounding the phenomenon of electronic voice remains open, and both proponents and skeptics continue to investigate this intriguing mystery. The debate over dark matter has its origins in a fundamental discrepancy in our observations of the universe. When scientists study the movement of stars and galaxies, they find that these celestial objects move much faster than expected based on the visible matter we can detect. This suggests that there must be additional mass exerting a gravitational influence, even though we cannot see it directly. This invisible mass, called dark matter, is believed to make up about 85% of all matter in the universe. However, despite decades of searching, we have not been able to directly observe or measure dark matter particles. This elusiveness has led some scientists to question whether dark matter exists or whether we need to revise our understanding of gravity. Alternative theories have been proposed to explain the observed gravitational effects without invoking dark matter. These include modified theories of gravity that suggest our current models break down on galactic scales. However, dark matter remains the most widely accepted explanation among cosmologists because of its ability to explain various astronomical observations, such as gravitational lensing and the cosmic microwave background. The ongoing debate reflects the challenge of studying something that cannot be observed directly. As technology advances and new experiments are conducted, scientists continue to search for definitive proof of the existence of dark matter or alternative explanations for the gravitational anomalies we observe in the cosmos. This search highlights the dynamic nature of scientific research and the evolution of our understanding of the universe. The Dyatlov incident remains one of the most perplexing mysteries of modern history. In 1959, 9 experienced hikers died under strange circumstances in the Russian Ural Mountains. The peculiar nature of their deaths and the subsequent investigation have led to decades of speculation and debate. One of the main reasons why the incident remains unsolved is the unusual evidence found at the scene. The hikers' tent was open from the inside, and they fled in sub-zero temperatures without proper clothing. Their bodies were found, scattered across the mountain, some with unexplained injuries. These strange circumstances have fueled numerous theories, ranging from avalanches to secret Soviet weapons testing. The initial investigation was hampered by Cold War-era secrecy and the limited forensic capabilities of the time. Much crucial evidence was mishandled or not properly documented. Furthermore, the Soviet government's decision to classify the case files for decades prevented a thorough and independent examination of the evidence. Recent scientific studies have proposed natural explanations, such as a rare type of avalanche or panic induced by infrasound. However, these theories still fail to explain all the unusual aspects of the case. The combination of incomplete evidence, historical context, and the strangeness of the event remains a challenge for researchers, and the Dyatlov Pass incident remains a mystery in the annals of unexplained phenomena. The Duga radar system, located near Ternal, Ukraine, has been the subject of several intriguing theories about its true purpose. This enormous structure, often called the Russian woodpecker due to its characteristic tapping sound, was officially described as a radar system designed to detect incoming missile attacks during the Cold War. However, over the years, alternative theories have emerged. Some speculate that the Duga was actually a mind control device intended to influence the thoughts and behaviors of people at great distances. Others suggest that it was part of a weather modification program capable of altering atmospheric conditions to gain military advantages. A more substantiated theory proposes that the Duga system was used for long-range communications with submarines, using its powerful transmitters to send signals deep into the oceans. Some researchers believe it may have been an experimental weapon system designed to disrupt enemy electronics or communication networks. Despite these fascinating speculations, most experts agree that the Duga radar was, in fact, primarily an early warning system for missile detection. Its immense size and energy consumption fit the requirements of long-range radar operations, and declassified documents support this conventional explanation. Nevertheless, the air of mystery surrounding this colossal structure continues to captivate the imagination of many. Researchers studying the global decline in bee populations have identified several key factors contributing to this alarming trend. One of these is the widespread use of pesticides, particularly a class known as neonicotinoids. These chemicals can disorient bees, impair their navigation abilities, and weaken their immune systems, making them more susceptible to disease and parasites. Habitat loss is another major problem. With the expansion of urban areas and the intensification of agricultural practices, bees are losing access to a variety of flowering plants that are essential to their diet. This reduction in food sources and nesting sites places considerable stress on bee colonies. Climate change also plays a role, as it alters flowering times and creates mismatches between the time bees emerge from hibernation and the time flowers bloom. The spread of parasites and diseases, such as the Varroa mite and various viruses, has further decimated bee populations. These pathogens can spread rapidly through colonies, especially when bees are already weakened by other stressors. In addition, the lack of genetic diversity in some managed honeybee populations makes them more vulnerable to these threats. Researchers are studying several solutions to address these challenges. These include developing safer pesticides, creating bee-friendly habitats in urban and rural areas, and breeding more resilient bee species. By understanding the complex interaction of these factors, scientists hope to reverse the decline and ensure the survival of these crucial pollinators. Damien Hirst's exhibition Shipwrecked Treasures of the Incredible sparked controversy for several reasons. The exhibition, which debuted in Venice in 2017, presented a fictional narrative of ancient treasures salvaged from shipwreck. HSD created elaborate sculptures and artifacts that were deliberately aged and encrusted with coral to support this made-up story. One of the main points of controversy was the blurring of reality and fiction. Hearst presented these modern creations as if they were authentic historical artifacts, sparking debates about the nature of truth in art and the responsibility of artists to their audience. Some critics argued that this approach was misleading and undermined the integrity of authentic archaeological discoveries. The scale and extravagance of the project also drew criticism. Hearst's exhibition was seen as a display of wealth and excess in the art world. The cost of producing and staging such an elaborate exhibition raised questions about the commercialization of art and the role of money in determining artistic value. Furthermore, the exhibition's appropriation of various cultural motifs and historical styles sparked debates about cultural sensitivity and appropriation in art. Some found HSD's reinterpretation of various cultural artifacts problematic, arguing that it trivialized or misrepresented an important cultural heritage. These controversies added layers of complexity to the reception of HSD's ambitious and provocative project. The mysterious underwater circles, discovered off the coast of Japan, have fascinated scientists and divers alike. These intricate patterns found on the ocean floor are not the work of aliens or supernatural forces, but the result of a small pufferfish's dedication to attracting a mate. Male pufferfish, barely 20 centimeters long, spend days meticulously creating these elaborate circular structures using only their fins. They swim tirelessly back and forth, creating grooves and ridges in the sand that form a complex geometric design. The circles can reach 7 feet in diameter, an impressive feat for such a small creature. The purpose of these underwater works of art is purely reproductive. Female pufferfish are attracted to the most symmetrical and intricate designs, which they interpret as signs of a healthy and fit mate. Once the female chooses a circle, she lays her eggs in the center where they are fertilized by the male. The ridges and grooves of the structure serve to minimize the impact of ocean currents, protecting the eggs until they hatch. Scientists believe that this behavior evolved as a way for male pufferfish to demonstrate their fitness and genetic quality to potential mates. The complexity and precision of the circles requires a lot of energy and skill, making them honest signals of the male's abilities. This discovery highlights the incredible ingenuity of nature and reminds us that there are still many wonders to be discovered in our oceans. The Moai statues on Easter Island have long fascinated archaeologists and historians and have sparked numerous theories about their creation and purpose. These enormous stone figures, carved between 800 and 1800, are believed to represent ancestral chiefs and other important figures in the lineage of the Rapa Nui people. A prevailing theory suggests that the Moai were created as a form of ancestor worship. It is possible that the statues were intended to channel mana, a spiritual force believed to bring prosperity and protection to living descendants. This theory is supported by the fact that many Moai face inland as if watching over the villages and their inhabitants. Another hypothesis proposes that the Moai served as territorial markers, delineating the boundaries between the island's different clans. The size and number of statues in an area could indicate the power and status of the clan that controlled that territory. This theory is consistent with the competitive nature of Polynesian societies and the importance of land ownership. Some researchers have suggested that the creation of the Moai was itself a crucial social and economic activity. The process of carving, transporting, and erecting these enormous statues would have required significant cooperation and organization and may have served to unify the island's population and maintain social order during times of environmental stress. The legend of Atlantis has endured for thousands of years, captivating the imagination of people of all generations. This mythical island civilization, first described by the Greek philosopher Plato, continues to intrigue researchers and the public alike because of its mix of historical possibilities and fantastical elements. One reason for this fascination is the tantalizing possibility that Atlantis may have actually existed. Many cultures around the world tell stories of great floods and lost civilizations, leading some to speculate that Atlantis may have been based on a real historical event. This possibility has led researchers to search for archaeological evidence to prove its existence. The idea of an advanced civilization, lost in time, also resonates with our collective curiosity about human potential and our past. Atlantis is often depicted as a highly sophisticated society with technology superior to that of its time, raising questions about what ancient humans might have been capable of and what knowledge might have been lost. Furthermore, the mystery surrounding Atlantis taps into our love of solving puzzles and uncovering hidden truths. The ongoing debate about its possible location, the cause of its downfall, and its potential influence on other cultures keeps the topic alive in both academic circles and popular culture, ensuring that the allure of Atlantis continues to captivate us. The underwater ruins off the coast of Yonaguni, Japan, have been puzzling scientists and archaeologists for decades. These submerged structures, discovered in 1987 by a local diver, feature huge stone formations with sharp angles, flat surfaces, and what appear to be terraces and ramps. Their enigmatic nature stems from the debate over their origin. Are they natural geological formations or the remains of an ancient human civilization? Those who believe the structures are man-made point to their apparently geometric shapes and architectural features. They argue that the presence of what appear to be steps, platforms, and even a possible pyramid indicates human involvement. Some even suggest that these ruins could be evidence of a lost civilization that may date back to the last ice age, when sea levels were much lower. However, many geologists maintain that the Yonaguni formations are entirely natural. They explain that the sandstone layers in the area, combined with tectonic activity and erosion, could have created these intriguing shapes over thousands of years. The region's susceptibility to earthquakes and strong currents further supports this theory of natural formation. Adding to the mystery is the difficulty of studying these underwater structures located in a dangerous area known for strong currents and hammerhead sharks. Research expeditions are difficult and limited. This restricted access has allowed speculation to flourish, while conclusive evidence remains elusive. The underwater ruins of Yonaguni continue to captivate our imagination and stand as a testament to the enduring mysteries that lie beneath the waves of our vast oceans. The discovery of an ancient underwater forest off the coast of Alabama has left scientists intrigued and searching for answers. This remarkably well-preserved forest, found about 60 feet below the surface of the Gulf of Mexico, dates back to a time when sea levels were much lower, approximately 50,000 to 60,000 years ago. Experts believe that this forest was quickly buried by sediment during the last ice age, possibly due to a sudden sea level change or a major storm. This rapid burial created an oxygen-free environment that prevented decomposition and allowed for exceptional preservation. The trees, mainly bald cypresses, retain their bark intact and even give off a pine scent when cut. Scientists suggest that the forest remained hidden and preserved until recent hurricanes, particularly Hurricane Ivan in 2004, displaced sediment from the seabed and exposed the ancient trees. The cold, dark waters of the Gulf have further contributed to the forest preservation by slowing down decomposition processes. This underwater time capsule offers researchers a unique opportunity to study the climates and ecosystems of the past. By analyzing tree rings and preserved pollen, scientists can gain insight into the environmental conditions of the Gulf Coast region during the last ice age, providing valuable data for understanding long-term climate patterns and possible future changes. The Bimini Trail, located off the coast of North Bimini Island in the Bahamas, has been a source of intrigue and debate for decades. This underwater formation consists of a series of limestone blocks arranged in what appears to be a linear pattern that extends for half a mile along the seabed. The controversy surrounding the Bimini Road stems from differing interpretations of its origin and purpose. Some researchers and enthusiasts claim that the formation is evidence of an ancient civilization, possibly linked to the legendary lost city of Atlantis. They argue that the seemingly orderly arrangement of the stones suggests human intervention and architectural design. pointing to the possibility of a submerged port or causeway. However, most geologists and marine scientists maintain that the Bimini Road is a natural formation. They explain that the limestone blocks are likely the result of erosion and fracturing of a larger rock outcrop. Its linear appearance is due to the natural planes of the rock formation and the effects of wave action over thousands of years. The debate is fueled by the broader context of underwater archaeology and the search for lost civilizations. While the idea of discovering the remains of an advanced ancient society is captivating, the scientific consensus leans toward a natural explanation for the Bimini Road. This ongoing debate highlights the challenges of interpreting underwater formations and the importance of rigorous scientific research in understanding the geological and historical mysteries of our planet. The disappearance of the Flannan Isles lighthouse keepers remains one of the most perplexing maritime mysteries of the 20th century. In December 1900, 3 men disappeared without a trace from their post on Aor, one of the remote Flannan Isles off the coast of Scotland. What makes this case particularly puzzling is the lack of concrete evidence and the strange circumstances surrounding their disappearance. When a rescue ship arrived at the island, it found the lighthouse in a strange state. The clock had stopped, the beds were unmade, and a set of oilskins was missing, suggesting that one of the keepers had left without the proper equipment. Most puzzling of all, the last entry in the lighthouse logbook indicated calm weather, although other records showed that a severe storm had hit the area around that time. Over the years, numerous theories have been put forward, ranging from the plausible to the fantastical. Some suggest that the men were swept away by a strange wave while trying to secure equipment outside the lighthouse. Others speculate about paranormal explanations or even kidnapping. However, the island's isolation and lack of witnesses have made it impossible to verify any of these theories. The passage of time has only deepened the mystery. With no new evidence coming to light in over a century, the fate of the Flannan Isles lighthouse keepers continues to captivate the imagination of many. Their disappearance reminds us of the unpredictable power of nature and the dangers faced by those who work in isolated coastal environments. The stone spheres of Costa Rica, also known as the Dique spheres, have puzzled archaeologists and researchers for decades. These perfectly round stone balls, ranging in size from a few centimeters to over 2 meters in diameter, are scattered throughout the Dique Delta and Cano Island in Costa Rica. Several theories have been proposed to explain their origin and purpose. One theory suggests that the spheres were created by the indigenous people of the region, possibly the ancestors of the Baruca or Taraib tribes. This theory proposes that the spheres were made using a technique of repeated hammering and grinding of large rocks, gradually shaping them into almost perfect spheres. Researchers believe that this process required great skill and patience, and that it took months or even years to complete a single sphere. Another hypothesis proposes that the spheres had astronomical significance. Some researchers argue that the placement of the spheres could have served to mark celestial events or as a rudimentary calendar system. However, this theory remains controversial, as many of the spheres have been moved from their original locations over time, making it difficult to confirm any intentional astronomical alignment. A more practical theory suggests that the spheres were symbols of power and social status. According to this idea, the larger and more perfectly shaped spheres would have belonged to chiefs or other important members of society, serving as a sign of wealth and influence. Some researchers also speculate that the spheres may have been used to mark territorial boundaries between different groups in the region. The floating islands of Lake Titicaca are a feat of human ingenuity and adaptation. These islands, known as the Uros Islands, are built entirely by the indigenous Uros people using tatora reeds, which grow abundantly in the shallow waters of the lake. Researchers explain that the Uros began creating these islands centuries ago as a defensive measure, allowing them to move their homes if threatened. The process of building these islands is both ingenious and laborious. The Uros collect the tatora and pile it into dense blocks. They then anchor them to the lake bed with ropes and stakes. As the lower layers of reeds decompose, new layers are continuously added to the top, creating a perpetually renewed surface. This constant maintenance is crucial, as otherwise the islands would sink within a matter of months. In addition to serving as a floating base, the reeds have other functions. They're used to build houses and boats, and are even consumed as a source of iodine. The unique ecosystem of Lake Titicaca, located on the border between Peru and Bolivia at an altitude of over 4,000 m, offers the perfect conditions for this extraordinary way of life. The cold, high-altitude environment preserves the reeds, while the lake provides food and transportation. This symbiotic relationship between the Uros and their environment is a fascinating example of human adaptation to difficult conditions. Music, the lights of Gjesdalen, Norway, have been fascinating and puzzling scientists and observers for decades. These mysterious luminous phenomena appear as bright, colorful orbs of light floating above the Gjesdalen Valley in central Norway. What makes them particularly puzzling is their unpredictable nature and the lack of a conclusive explanation for their appearance. Scientists have had difficulty observing and measuring the lights systematically, as they appear randomly and often only for brief periods. This inconsistency has made it difficult to collect reliable data and conduct thorough research. In addition, the lights exhibit unusual behaviors, such as color changes, mergers, divisions, and movements that defy conventional explanations of natural phenomena. Numerous theories have been proposed to explain the Gjesdalen lights, ranging from geological and atmospheric processes to more exotic possibilities, such as plasma formations or unknown physical phenomena. However, none of these theories fully explains all of the observed characteristics of the lights. This lack of a comprehensive explanation continues to fuel scientific curiosity and debate. In addition, the frequency of sightings has fluctuated over time, with periods of increased activity followed by periods of calm. This variability further complicates the systematic study of the phenomenon and the understanding of its underlying causes. For all these reasons, the Gjesdalen lights remain an intriguing enigma that challenges our understanding of natural phenomena and inspires ongoing scientific research. Red sprites and blue jets are fascinating atmospheric phenomena that occur high above thunderstorms. These colorful flashes of light have intrigued scientists for decades, and researchers continue to study their formation and characteristics. Red sprites are large, brief flashes of red light that appear above active thunderstorms. They usually appear between 40 and 90 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Scientists believe that red sprites form when powerful lightning creates strong electric fields in the upper atmosphere. These electric fields accelerate electrons that collide with nitrogen molecules and emit the characteristic red glow. Blue jets, on the other hand, are narrow cones of blue light that shoot upward from the top of storm clouds. They can reach altitudes of up to 50 kilometers. Experts suggest that blue jets are the result of an electrical discharge between the positively charged upper levels of storm cloud and the negatively charged air above it. This electrical discharge ionizes nitrogen molecules, producing the blue color we observe. Both phenomena are difficult to study due to their short duration and high altitude. However, advances in high-speed camera technology and observations from aircraft and space have allowed scientists to collect more data and refine their understanding of these elusive phenomena. Ongoing research aims to uncover the precise mechanisms behind red sprites and blue jets, as well as their potential impact on the upper atmosphere and the global electrical circuit. Ball lightning remains one of the most enigmatic and elusive phenomena in atmospheric science. This rare form of lightning appears as bright, floating spheres that can range in size from a pea to several meters in diameter. Unlike normal lightning, these luminous orbs can persist for several seconds or even minutes, often moving erratically before suddenly disappearing. Several theories attempt to explain the nature and cause of ball lightning. One of the leading hypotheses suggests that ball lightning forms when a normal lightning bolt strikes the ground, vaporizing silicon from the soil or rock. This process could create a hot plasma of silicon and oxygen that glows and floats in its own electromagnetic field. Another theory proposes that ball lightning is a cluster of highly energized air molecules, held together by complex electromagnetic fields generated during thunderstorms. Some researchers have suggested that ball lightning could be an optical illusion caused by temporary blindness that occurs after seeing a bright flash of normal lightning. However, this explanation does not account for the numerous cases of ball lightning that occur indoors or in the absence of conventional lightning. More recent theories explore the possibility that ball lightning is a manifestation of nanobatteries formed in the atmosphere or the result of quantum phenomena involving Rydberg matter. Despite these various hypotheses, the true nature of ball lightning remains unclear, and scientists continue to debate its causes and properties. Its rarity and unpredictability make it difficult to study, so this atmospheric mystery remains open to further research and discovery. The phenomenon of the Marfa lights in Texas has been baffling scientists and fascinating observers for decades. These mysterious glowing orbs appear in the night sky near the town of Marfa, defying conventional explanations and sparking countless theories. One of the reasons why the Marfa lights continue to elude scientific explanation is their unpredictable nature. The lights appear at random intervals and locations, making systematic study difficult. Researchers have difficulty collecting consistent data, as the phenomenon does not occur on a regular schedule or in a fixed position. Another factor contributing to the mystery is the variety of descriptions provided by witnesses. Some say they have seen stationary lights, while others describe moving orbs that change color or separate. This inconsistency in observations makes it difficult for scientists to pinpoint a single cause or develop a unified theory. Several explanations have been proposed, such as atmospheric reflections from car headlights, luminous gases from underground sources, and even ball lightning. However, none of these theories explains all the characteristics of the Marfa lights, leaving scientists without a definitive answer to this baffling phenomenon. The Brown Mountain Lights in North Carolina have puzzled observers for centuries, earning them a reputation as one of the most intriguing natural phenomena in the United States. These mysterious lights appear as bright orbs that dance and flicker above Brown Mountain in the Pisgah National Forest. What makes them truly enigmatic is their unpredictable nature and the lack of a definitive scientific explanation for their existence. Witnesses describe the lights as varying in size, color, and behavior. Sometimes they appear as small glowing spheres, while other times they manifest as larger, more diffuse glows. The lights have been observed to move erratically, separate, merge, and even seem to respond to human attempts at communication. This seemingly intelligent behavior has fueled speculation about their origin and nature. Despite extensive research by scientists and investigators, no conclusive explanation has been found. Theories range from natural phenomena, such as bioluminescent fungi or electrical discharges caused by geological stresses, to more exotic possibilities, such as plasma formations or even extraterrestrial activity. The rugged terrain and dense forests of the area make systematic study difficult, adding to the mystery. The longevity of the Brown Mountain Lights phenomenon also contributes to its enigmatic status. Reports of the lights date back to Cherokee legends and have been observed consistently for over a century. This persistence, combined with modern science's inability to fully explain them, ensures that the Brown Mountain Lights will continue to captivate the imagination of scientists and the public alike. Earthquake lights are a rare and mysterious phenomenon that have puzzled scientists for centuries. These eerie glows in the sky, often described as flashes or glowing orbs, have been observed before, during, and after major earthquakes. Although their exact cause remains a subject of debate, researchers have proposed several intriguing theories to explain their appearance. One of the leading hypotheses suggests that earthquake lights are caused by intense stress and friction within rock formations during seismic activity. As tectonic plates collide, they create immense pressure that can cause certain types of rock, particularly those containing quartz, to release electrical charges. This process, known as piezoelectricity, can ionize the air near the ground, creating visible light emissions. Another explanation focuses on the release of radon gas from the Earth during earthquakes. Radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas, can ionize air molecules as it escapes from cracks in the ground. This ionization could create incandescent plasma-like formations in the atmosphere, which would explain some of the luminous phenomena recorded during earthquakes. Some scientists have also proposed that the movement of groundwater through porous rocks during seismic events could generate electric fields strong enough to produce visible light. This theory suggests that water acts as a conductor, transporting electrical charges to the surface where they interact with the air to create luminous displays. Although these explanations offer compelling ideas, the rarity and unpredictability of earthquake lights make them difficult to study, leaving room for further research and discoveries in this fascinating field of seismology. The debate surrounding the true nature of the aurora borealis and the aurora australis is due to their complex and multifaceted origins. These stunning light shows, also known as the Northern Lights and Southern Lights, have captivated humans for millennia, but their exact mechanisms continue to intrigue scientists. At the heart of the debate is the interaction between solar activity and the Earth's magnetic field. Although we know that charged particles from the Sun interact with our planet's magnetosphere, the precise details of this process are not yet fully understood. Some researchers argue that auroras are primarily driven by the solar wind, while others emphasize the role of fluctuations in the Earth's magnetic field itself. Another point of controversy is the variety of colors observed in auroras. Scientists agree that different atmospheric gases produce specific colors when excited by charged particles, but the exact combinations and intensities of these colors can vary widely. This variability has led to ongoing debates about the underlying atomic and molecular processes. The debate also extends to the effects of auroras on the Earth's atmosphere, the potential implications for technology. Some experts suggest that intense auroral activity could disrupt satellite communications and electrical grids, while others argue that such effects are minimal. As our understanding of space weather evolves, so does the debate over the true nature and implications of these fascinating celestial phenomena. Noctilucent clouds remain a mystery to atmospheric scientists due to their unique characteristics and difficult observation conditions. These ethereal clouds form at the edge of space, in the mesosphere, at altitudes of about 80 kilometers above the Earth's surface. This extreme height makes them difficult to study directly, as they are too high to be reached by aircraft or weather balloons, but too low for most satellites to observe them closely. The formation of noctilucent clouds requires specific conditions that are not fully understood. They need extremely cold temperatures, water vapor, and dust particles to serve as nuclei for the formation of ice crystals. However, the sources and dynamics of these components at such high altitudes are not well understood. Dust particles, for example, may come from meteorites, volcanic eruptions, or even human activities, but the exact contributions of each source remain uncertain. Another factor complicating our understanding is the relatively recent discovery of noctilucent clouds. They were first observed in the late 19th century, possibly in connection with the eruption of Krakatoa. This brief history of observations limits our knowledge of their long-term behavior and possible connections to climate change or other atmospheric phenomena. In addition, noctilucent clouds exhibit complex patterns and structures that change rapidly, often within minutes. This dynamic nature makes it difficult to study them systematically and draw definitive conclusions about their behavior and influence. As atmospheric research progresses, noctilucent clouds remain an intriguing topic that promises new insights into the upper atmosphere and its interactions with space and the lower atmospheric layers. Sprites are a fascinating atmospheric phenomenon that occur above storms. These brief, bright flashes of light take on various shapes, often resembling jellyfish or columns. Scientists have proposed several theories to explain their formation and behavior. A widely held theory suggests that sprites are the result of a positive charge discharge between the top of a storm cloud. When lightning strikes the ground, it leaves a strong positive charge at the top of the cloud. This charge interacts with the negatively charged layer of the atmosphere, creating an electric field that triggers the sprites. Another theory focuses on the role of cosmic rays in the formation of sprites. High-energy particles from space could ionize the air in the upper atmosphere, creating conditions conducive to the development of sprites. This could explain why sprites often appear in groups. Researchers have also proposed that gravitational waves, which are oscillations of the atmosphere, could play a role in the behavior of sprites. These waves could create areas of lower air density, facilitating electrical discharges and influencing the shape and movement of ghosts. As scientists continue to study these elusive phenomena, new theories and explanations are likely to emerge that shed more light on the mysterious world of ghosts. Light pillars are a captivating atmospheric optical phenomenon that often leave observers speechless. Researchers explain this spectacle as the result of light interacting with ice crystals suspended in the air. These ice crystals, which are usually flat and hexagonal in shape, act like tiny mirrors floating in the atmosphere. When light from bright sources such as streetlights, the moon, or even the sun hits these ice crystals, it is reflected off their surfaces. The crystals must be aligned horizontally to create the pillar effect. As the light bounces off numerous ice crystals at different heights, it creates the illusion of a vertical column or pillar of light extending upward from the source. The appearance of light pillars depends largely on weather conditions. They are most commonly seen in cold climates, where temperatures are low enough for ice crystals to form in the air. The crystals must be large enough to reflect light effectively, but small enough to remain suspended in the atmosphere. This delicate balance explains why light pillars are relatively rare and often fleeting. Researchers continue to study light pillars to better understand atmospheric optics and ice crystal formation. By analyzing the conditions under which these phenomena occur, scientists gain insight into the composition and behavior of the atmosphere, which contributes to our understanding of weather patterns and climate dynamics.